It looks like one of those old TVs behind you with static going, you know?
Oh yeah, it's actually man, it's dark. Let me get some more light in here.
Good to see you though, dude. You look beautiful.
Oh man, thank you. Hold on, I'm gonna turn on something.
Ryan, this is Scott. I don't know if you guys have met before or not.
I don't think so.
Scott is our neighborhood murderer.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Chum. Nice to meet you, Scott.
So you're on like a 4 or 5 kill streak now, Scott? Is that?
Here we go. All right. Whew. What's up?
Nothing, man. Just waiting for you to turn yourself over to authorities. Good to see you, man.
You too. Yeah, this is my. I've worked from home most of the time nowadays, like most of us. And so I've secluded myself to the basement back corner so I could have some peace.
I'm literally in the back corner of my basement, so
yeah,
I understand completely. As you can see the I got an inversion table behind me.
Ooh, dude, I need one of those. Those are fantastic.
Too.
They are nice. I've had back surgery, so it really helps.
Oh no shit. I bet.
It's bullshit. Where's I think Beanbag is joining us.
Dude, I can't get used to calling him anything else. Like I can't say, like I feel more comfortable saying Mr. Harris because he teaches my oldest.
Oh, really? How is that?
They love him.
That's good. I mean, I'll prefer.
Yeah.
You know,
oh yeah.
Would joke around with mine about switching schools just so they could have his classes.
No, they Nolan. He absolutely adores him. He thinks he's and you know, from what I hear, he's one of the cooler teachers, of course. But I can't call him anything like. And I tried to get Nolan to say, "Hey, walk by him and say, hey, Beanbag, what's up?" And he just won't do it.
I don't think my kids know his real name. They've never heard me say it. I don't. You know, I'm pretty sure they probably do, but I don't know. They say Beanbag.
That's hilarious.
Ryan Beanbag is the other guy's joining us. Also went to school with us. His actual name is John, but we played high school soccer together. And
I won't remember John, but I will remember Beanbag.
Exactly.
It just feels wrong to say John. Yeah.
We obviously have permission to call him Bag. That's his pronoun, I think.
Dude, so I remember, and maybe I think I remember, so who knows at this point, but I feel like I remember the soccer practice where that name came to fruition.
Same.
And it's crazy. It's just one of those things that.
You know, it would be interesting because he's not in here yet to get our version and then hear his version, you know, after he gets here. So here's my memory. Soccer practice. I'll let you go from there, but yeah.
Brian Hall.
Yep.
Brian Hall. And now I'm trying to, but I remember him say, what did he say? Something like, because he took out some words of the sentence. So it was almost like sit Beanbag or something.
Fat sheet on Beanbag.
There we go. And then it just, I don't know how it got associated with the bag himself, but I just remember Brian Hall saying something like that, and then it just took off.
Okay, so I'll fill in the gaps for you. The human being that we call Beanbag, this was like his first day of high school soccer practice. Okay. And he shows up with the cleats you would buy your 8-year-old first day of soccer practice, and like, you know what I mean, like pleather with neon green shoelaces. Okay.
Perfect.
Which were hilarious. And at the very same time, our coach was, he was probably in his 20s. You know what I mean? Like, thought he was way cooler than he was sometimes.
Yeah.
Was bragging about sleeping on these huge beanbag chairs, which I've seen in person. They're like, you know, a couch, basically.
Yeah, I've seen them too.
So we were basically making fun of our coach for sleeping on beanbag chairs. At the very same time, this shows up for his first day of practice, and it just got like transposed onto him. Like, you are now beanbag, and we're going to take fat sheet on you.
And
he became one of our best friends. You know what I mean? Like,
And the damn thing, and it stuck. Like it
He just
stuck like nothing else.
He just had to accept it.
yeah, this was 23 years ago.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's
Jesus
all I know.
Christ.
Now it's written in the lexicon. It's
So it's worked. He doesn't mind. And we still fat sheet on him sometimes. That's great. So I'm curious to hear what he.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
Because I'm been asked about it from other people.
Well, and I wonder how many people still refer to him. Like if I don't know, I'd be curious.
I know Linford does. Like the crew, like the
people who know. Yeah.
Yeah. I always hear them say back. Hearing John or John Robert.
That's just, yeah.
Makes me feel gross. So what have you been up to, man, in the past 23 years?
Dude, starting a family and just working. That's it. It's life, man. It'll beat you down, but here we are.
Looks like you've had a pretty good time at it so far.
Yeah, I complain just to be an asshole sometimes, but I shouldn't. No, I'm very fortunate with my family. Got great kids, great wife, and
you have 2 boys.
3 actually. We've got Nolan's 13, Flynn is 7, and Connor turned a year in January.
Wow.
And that's it. We're done.
You still got a youngin' now. My youngin' just turned 6.
Oh, so they're somewhat independent, and you can.
Right, but 4 of them, 3 of which are girls. So.
Yeah.
My young one just turned 4, or is about to turn 4 in March. So.
Yeah, 1-year-old man.
He's becoming more independent.
Yeah. You don't realize how much you miss, because they get to that point of basically your old state where, I mean, you still engage, but they can certain days do their own thing. You've got some downtime, and then when you hit that reset button, takes a bit.
No thanks, bro.
Well, that's us. We had talked about, and I was pushing for 4, and then once a couple months into this one, I was like, no, we're too old.
Were you pushing for 4 for a girl, or you know what I mean?
I just like the even number.
I understand.
Setting up franchises.
Leave that. We got a crew, bro. It's a whole motherfucking crew in here. It's great.
But
yeah, I only have 2. I'm like.
Hey Ryan, what's your oldest?
She is 7.
Okay.
So 7 and 3 right now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have an older stepbrother who's 13.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's good range.
13.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good range. I mean, I'm done, but
yeah.
I mean,
Bag's got 2 boys as well.
And his are
Rook's like 5 or 6, the youngest.
Yeah.
He looks like DJ Adrock from Beastie Boys.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that message the other day.
Looks just like him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, look at some of their old photos.
I'm gonna have to.
It's pretty much that kid.
I'll dig through his photos, stalk him on Facebook here, and.
Right. What are you drinking there, man?
A little Blanton's.
Blanton's. So you a bourbon guy, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
That is.
I don't pretend to know a lot about it, but I mean, I grew up in Kentucky, so I love bourbon. It just seemed natural. Love,
Do you work in the industry, Scott? Is that what
I do? Yeah, I work for a company called Sazerac. So we own.
I've heard of that.
And we're private, and they keep it. No one. It's funny. No one seems to know a whole lot about Sazerac itself. But when you start to talk, Blanton's is our brand. So Buffalo Trace, that's one of ours. Like the Bardstown facility. And we've got.
So you handle like the George T. Stagg, like the Highline stuff.
That's ours. Yep.
George T. Stagg is my favorite bourbon.
Nice.
I love that one.
Yeah.
And I find it out here frequently in Colorado, but it's too pricey.
It is.
But if you're going to celebrate, get an ounce, pour at a bar,
There you go. It's an interesting, it's really neat. It's a fascinating industry. Obviously a lot of heritage, especially in this area. And I don't claim to be any kind of bourbon connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination. I know what I like. I know it tastes good. But I'm not going to take a sip of something and tell you I can taste the notes of the hickory tree and all that. No, not going to work.
No.
How'd you get into it?
Luck, to be honest. I spent 10 years in the transportation industry on barge transportation. And finally kind of got burned out and had an opportunity to move to a procurement function in healthcare. Did that for a while. Really didn't like the company I was working for, but I liked procurement and the function there. And I got kind of headhunted to jump to Sazerac. And it was the same thing. Like when I was approached, I was like, I don't really know what Sazerac is, but let me look into it. And took the dive, and I've been here for just over 2 years now.
Oh yeah, man.
So it's great. It's a great company. It's busy, very busy. But again, I can't complain. It's a great place to work.
Does it have a physical location, I guess, there? Like
or something? Well, our corporate office is actually in Louisville.
Okay.
And then, I'm fortunate I get to make frequent trips to like Buffalo Trace. We actually have a plant. So I'm in Sellersburg, and we have a plant just up the road in New Albany now that mainly bottles Fireball and some other things. And so I get to go there a lot. So it's neat just to have the freedom to see the industry and see how everything is processed. And
right.
I mean, you pick up things about bourbon here and there, but again, I try not to get into a conversation where I'm trying to match wits with someone and get all hoity-toity about it.
But your exposure to like just descriptions of brands and you know what I mean? Like you read that shit way more than somebody like me is going to be reading that shit. So it just sticks with you if you're surrounded by it. You know what I mean? I get it.
Well, and it's fun. I would do shots of whiskey prior to joining the company, but mainly I was a beer guy. Like I would drink Guinness and that was it. And then on St. Patty's Day, you throw some Jameson in. But yeah. Oh yeah. But now, there's a lot of exposure, and I'm always picking up new things, so it's cool. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's stressful, but it's good. Yeah.
Oh, Tim and Jeff O'Brien have that amazing distillery up in Nashville that blows my mind.
Which one are they at?
Is it Hard Truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the Big Woods Brewing Company. So they started beer and they just opened a distillery a couple years ago. It's
nice.
Like 260 acre right there in Nashville, Indiana, like Brown County.
Yeah.
It's like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. It's
no kidding.
Dude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But he just started out like home brewing.
Yeah.
Now he's got this 6 restaurants and it's nuts, dude. They're doing
good on him.
And their beer is great. I haven't had the spirits yet, but their beer is fantastic. And it's sold like at the Kennedy.
They have like restaurants everywhere. It's ridiculous. All over Indiana.
I need to get up there and make some vodka. I wanted to try some peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, now the peanut butter whiskey is interesting. Like that's one of those where it's good for like a single pour.
Yes, exactly.
After that, it's like trying to drink a bunch of Zimas or something. You're just gonna get sick off the sugar.
Yeah. I can't do it. I'm already getting the sugar anyway, I don't need to add more sugar. My body's gonna process it in a certain way.
I'm gonna shoot back a text here because I want to. What is your involvement with the VR situation?
So a buddy and myself, we took a jump in 2018 and opened the arcade there in New Albany, and basically that just stemmed from I got into VR at home and just got lost in it. Like it's just fantastic, and I think hearing your conversation, Chum, I know you have the PlayStation VR. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so we got to the point where, you know, a Friday night, we'd all just be drinking and watch each other try different things. And then started talking about, you know, wouldn't it be cool if people had a place to go? Because, you know, we only had one computer, one headset. And so, man, if we had multiple setups, we could do it together. And then
it was weird. Watching people in VR is a very weird thing.
It's fun. There's especially if you watch them do like horror stuff, but when you're interacting is where the magic happens. When you're in these worlds together, that's just something different. But yeah, so and a buddy, we talked about it, but it was always one of those things you just talk about when you're drinking and move on. And it was right at the time, actually, when I was in that healthcare role, and I was just kind of unhappy. And he and Damon, my partner at the arcade, he was actually on a business trip, and they went to an arcade somewhere else. And when he got back, he was like, "Dude, that was awesome. We should really look at it." And I was like, "Well, all right, let's try it, see what happens." And it went well until COVID really just destroyed us. But up until that time, like, it was just rolling, man. We were busy, sold out every weekend, and kids were loving it. Adults loved it. But it's cool. Like, I love it. I still, you know, I'm happy we did it. For better or worse.
How did you go through the process of choosing what version of VR to use, and which one are you using there?
So we used the original HTC Vive, and it really came down to, I mean, that was the one that I used at home, and I was familiar with it. But then we had to look at what's the availability of the equipment, because you're going to have people break things. You're going to have, I mean, it's electronics. You've always got something going wrong.
I'm nervous when I'm in the same room as somebody in a VR, because you never know, like, when they're going to swing wildly or something.
Or when they're just going to take off sprinting. That's the damnedest thing to watch, is when they just completely forget and they take off running. If you would come to arcade and turn the lights on, like the real lights, our walls are just haggard from people just running into them and smacking them. We've gone through, I don't know how many controllers.
You got to obviously put some kind of protective.
No, one would think we should have. No, we
you kind of learned your lesson, you know.
we went through a lot of plaster. Now we looked at padding, but we wanted it to look clean, like, and kind of futuristic-ish. And when you throw foam up on the walls, then it just starts to look like a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. So we opted just to say, you know, try not to get hurt, and we'll keep patching the walls.
Right. And you have everyone sign like a disclaimer or something.
Yeah, we have waivers. And unfortunately, we've had a lot of people fall over because they try to lean on things in VR.
Yeah.
And so that's the most frequent, but no one ever, like, seriously injured. So very fortunate. We had one guy twist his ankle because we were doing the plank experience.
Yes.
I've done that one. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. And we actually had a plank we would sit down that would just elevate you a little bit, but it just really tricks your mind. And for whatever reason, like, he was so into it, he got to the edge of the plank and just swan dived. And when he came down and his legs were obviously not under him, and he hit sideways and just popped his ankle. But that one went away because he was like, "I'm an idiot." So we're like, okay, perfect.
The first time I did VR, and I don't have much experience with it, but the exact same story happened to me. I was doing walk the plank, you know, in a bunch of skyscrapers. It was crazy. It was a mind fuck. And,
it is.
And I jumped, or sort of tipped over, so I just jumped and went for it and landed and, like, dislocated my shoulder like an idiot, because I was an idiot. I mean, that was dumb.
But it's interesting, though, to see when people do that, because we've had multiple people jump, and then when you talk to them, it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Like, and they're like, I forgot. I forgot where I was. And so we're like,
feeling, I've been there, not like dumb, but like just, you know, you do it's some weird motion you do, like you look down to touch yourself or grab something, and you're like, oh, that's not my fucking hand. That's
Yep.
It's fucking weird.
I was playing a game. It's called Budget Cuts, and you're a spy, and you're going through this office building, and it's got like a drop ceiling, and you can move the tiles and teleport up into the ceiling, and then when you look down, you see these robots that are trying to kill you walking around. And so I was playing, and I was up in the ceiling, and I'd moved the ceiling tile, and so I'm on the floor, and I'm looking, but in the game I'm in the ceiling looking down, and just I lost it and forgot, and went to stick my head through the ceiling tile to find out where that robot went, and just slam my face right into the ground.
Right.
But it's those little things that you get lost in it.
Yeah.
But that's the magic of it. That means you're really there.
That always seemed like one of the immediate limitations right off the bat was just maneuverability and how it functions in a space, and how just being safe and comfortable, and also like maximizing the interaction with the experience itself. Have you ever been to one of the like big wide open interactive room situations?
No, I haven't. But you're right. Yeah, the limitation was always you're tethered to a PC.
Yeah.
Now with the Oculus Quest and the Quest 2, those are allow for a lot more freedom. And I've actually taken my Quest, and you can take a Quest and map out like an entire gymnasium. So I've taken it to a larger conference room, and just to play, since I'd never felt that, not being tied down, and just walked through these experiences, and I was like, it was another whole nother level.
Yeah.
But no, I've always wanted to do the Void and some of those other ones.
Yes, I don't know any of the games yet. I don't know any of the experiences because I'm, PSVR is so whack.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I've done it. There's some cool stuff. Have you done Resident Evil on it?
No, and the reason I didn't is because I've spent so much time playing it on the regular.
Oh, yeah.
And like I fucking love the game, and I was like, I don't want to play it again. And then it was a different system. I was like, I don't want to buy it just to.
Sure.
So I bought a bunch of stupid, like, my favorite one is like a roller coaster shooting arcade.
Yeah.
It's the fucking best.
Yeah.
You're on a roller coaster and you're fucking zombies and shit. It's awesome.
Now I do. I get out and in of Skyrim VR, and that's one. Like everybody else, I've played it 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, me too. I love that game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I tell you what, when you get in it, and it takes forever because you're moving slow because you're there and you're looking around and everything's so new. That's one that'll keep you coming back.
Now, how did the graphics translate as far as like high-end gaming PC? Does the same graphics card apply, or is it limited by the graphics card of a particular VR itself?
So when a PC is running VR, it has to render the game essentially twice, just to break it down. So yeah, it does put a bog on your GPU. So you do have to have like a significant graphics card to really run something like now Skyrim, because it's such an old game. If you don't try to throw like high def texture mods on it,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Their mods are crazy.
Oh yeah, now you can run it vanilla with just a standard GTX 1060. Now, if you want to really go all out, like I'm running a GTX 2080 Ti, but I've got like 80 something mods going, and I have to go in and tweak down some of the settings. So I mean, the sky's the limit. If you've got money to burn on those high level graphics cards, you can get something that looks just insane.
Yeah.
But then you have to get the headset too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you tried Flight Simulator?
I've played it on like a flat screen, and I know they're coming out with a VR port.
Gotcha.
So I'm excited to see that. But on the flat screen, that thing looks awesome. That is very cool.
Yeah, Ryan, the new Microsoft.
I've seen pictures of it, screenshots. I used to play Flight Simulator all the time as a kid. You know, I love that whole series.
So,
Yeah.
Chum,
I
do you play
started
it?
on Flight Simulator 98.
I don't have a PC good enough, dude.
Oh.
Like, that was my next question. Is like,
Yeah, me
my
either.
boy is in the process of wanting a gaming PC, so he's working for some money, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like pick one out together, but dude, it gets so overwhelming. Like trying to figure out what to get, how to match it with other shit. Like,
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
Dude, well, to your point, I mean, there's so much out there now. Like that. That's a rabbit hole that you could spend all day customizing, and then you go tweak one little thing, and you reset everything.
I'm just picking out a case. I'm like, I don't know how many things I need and shitholes and slots. And, well, all this shit I just bought fit in this thing,
We partnered with CyberPower when we built out our PCs for the arcade, and basically just shot them the specs we needed, went through some options, and they have a nice user interface if you go through their site. But honestly, you can go through like Newegg.
That's
and they make it fairly simple. And then honestly, there's a lot of pre-built bundles out there, unless he's wanting to make it his, like where he picked, and that's awesome. So I don't know, you can get lost in that rabbit hole for sure. The one I just got, and I'm trying to think where did I get this from? Actually, I think I went through an Amazon dealer. But as fun as it is to build one from scratch, at this point, like I just look for the specs I need and I just go all in and like, okay, great. And especially if you're wanting like a really nice graphics card, the only way you can get some of the newer ones is if you buy it pre-built already in a PC, because everybody's hoarding them.
What's the new Risen one that's super popular right now? The newest Risen, I don't know what number it is. I may be pronouncing it wrong. I'm not nerdy.
No, it's I say Ryzen, but Risen, same thing. Yeah, it's the AMD's new line. Well, I mean, but still, between those or the new 3000 series, you can't find them unless you want to pay double, which is stupid, but I guess that's supply and demand.
Right. So what are the few big components I ought to have him focus on for him to pick out?
So, if he's just doing standard gaming, you don't need as high as if you're going VR. But with anything, I mean, it's still the core components, whether you need a good GPU and you need plenty of RAM.
Okay.
Now,
what RAM would you recommend?
As far as how much?
Yeah.
Oh, I always go with it minimal 16 gigs. And if you want to just overkill it and make it future proof, go ahead and splurge on 32 up front and be done with it. I mean, you can go higher, but you don't need it.
When I'm looking at extra open slots for additional RAM, is that something I should be thinking of? You know what I mean? If it comes to this, should I see at least a slot to put some more in?
Yeah, most motherboards will come with 4 slots.
Okay.
So I'd recommend getting 2 sticks if you're going 16, you'll get 2 8-gig sticks. But then you could throw in another 2 down the road and up it. It has to match. So if you went 216, you'd have to get 16. Yeah. But yeah, most motherboards will have enough slots for 4. But I would recommend, just make sure you can always upgrade down the road.
And how serious is fucking cooling? Everybody seems like heat and cooling. It's like they got water, they got fucking steam cooling shit, dude. It's
like
wow.
If you're gonna be running like 4K gaming, the only thing
ideal 8K,
which is ideal. Yeah, absolutely. I would throw maybe some cooling on your CPU, but don't worry about trying to put your GPU and everything else under cooling. I think that's overkill. That's usually just someone who wants to have a fully cooled rig. If your case has good airflow, you're fine.
Okay.
Really. Yeah.
I dig it.
Like I've got a cooler on my CPU and that's it. The rest of it, I got fans. And I mean, a good graphics card's got fans built in.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, pre-built would have those things, but
pre-built, yeah, you can go in. Most websites, you can go in and check all the boxes, and it'll spit you out a couple options. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that knowledge, dude.
Oh, dude, if you guys get something you want to look at, pass it along. I'm happy to.
Yeah.
Buy it.
It's like new car shopping or any kind of. The further you want to dive into it, you just get lost and like just confuse yourself even more.
Oh, to your point, there's thousands of cases.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's a case, just whatever. But
dude, when you're clicking through them, it's hard to not keep clicking through them.
Yeah. And then you're like, maybe $50 more. And then you do this. And then at the end of the day, you've spent who knows how much because you keep upping a little options here and there.
That's another question. What kind of price range do you think I should kind of expect?
Oh, I mean, the sky's the limit, man.
I know he's 8. He's a huge gamer. So, you know what I mean? I just want to make sure it's going to be upgradable and still relevant to he's 16. You know what I mean?
The key's upgradable. And so you can get a decent little gaming PC under $1,000 that's upgradable that you can slowly build onto as the years go on.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. If you wanted something straight out of the box that's going to be good. Now, I mean, it's like, technology advances so quickly.
Right.
It's as soon as you get it, it seems like it's already outdated.
Yeah. It's a car thing.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think a standard mid to higher level probably run you about 15.
Yeah, that's what we've been kind of seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rebuilds we've been looking at is 15 to 2 range.
Yep.
But then monitor too. I don't understand the hertz and what I need to be. I just want to make sure I can run the best shit possible. But then I'm like, well, is this the right one? Fucking hertz? Is this one fucking curved the right direction? Oh shit!
Oh, on an iPhone? What is he doing?
Oh shit! This motherfucker!
What's up?
Get your shit together, boy.
Dang! I was like, "What's he saying? Come on for?" Damn it! I went up to Seymour to get a freaking snowblower and completely forgot. I'm almost back in town now.
What's her name?
Ryobi.
Sweet.
Ooh, exotic.
Hell yeah.
or Ryobi.
How's it work? Have you used it yet?
No, it's still in the back. I went battery powered instead of gas.
Turn your stupid camera on so we can see your face.
I thought I did. It said, how do you do it? First time on this thing.
Come on.
Start video. There it is.
Come on, teach. I hate you. Turn it back off. How's it?
That's funny.
Beanbag Ryan Beanbag.
It's nice to meet you.
So we'll start. We were talking, but now that you're here, we want to hear your version of how you got the name. We were trying to explain.
Oh my God.
I'm curious to see how it differs from ours.
All right. All I know about is Brian Hall's beanbag story on the bus to a soccer game, right? That's all I know.
Yep. So kind of explain that to Ryan as if he doesn't know anybody involved.
All right. A little confused on this right now. Where's Ryan and who's Ryan? I only see you.
Oh, you don't see anybody but me? Oh, you're on your stupid.
Yeah, that's it.
Say something.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Ryan.
All right, Ryan. There he is. Yeah, it will go back and forth to Poindexter like every once in a while, and that's about it. But barely. What were you saying? What was the question?
I mean, I hate you.
I am driving, so.
All right, so Ryan's never heard the story. He's a complete stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Explain the origin.
All right. Freshman on a bus full of senior soccer players with a coach that's barely even older than us, taking fat sheets on a beanbag while he's reading like a classified ads. That's all I remember.
It lines
and
up.
For whatever reason, it stuck like ridiculous. I have no idea how it's made it this long. It's kind of dying off a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to bring it back. We can't have that. See, now I remember it at the middle school soccer field, where if you remember it on a bus. So that's the only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember the bus.
Practice field. It was practice field for sure. Almost positive.
Maybe bags from another dimension.
Yeah, because we were calling you Bag well before you fucking went on a fucking bus trip to a game, you idiot.
You think so?
Yeah. Like,
so you think it's like conditioning days almost?
It was fucking day one, dude.
I thought so.
Like, here's your stupid.
Man, I don't know, man.
It's called Beanbag now. Like, there you are.
God.
Who are you? Oh, you're Beanbag. Fat sheet.
Unreal.
Good shit. What you teach science?
Yeah.
So you're failing Scott's kid in class right now?
That's what I hear.
I'm waiting on.
I don't know.
Yeah. He said he's going to pay me in crypto, so I'm still waiting.
Doge.
Oh.
Ryan just popped up for just a second.
Yay.
Does everybody here own some Doge? I hope.
Nope.
Oh, bro.
I don't.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. I got a scope.
Just a little bit.
I got a scope of it. It's just fun to have around. Yeah, diversify.
It is. Yeah.
To the moons, I say.
Dude, I was all in for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, at one point I had 2 million
In Doge?
in Doge.
Holy cow.
What?
And I sat on it for years, and then nothing was happening, and I parted ways, and that's where I start to get my own. Yeah, this is the simulation, and someone's fucking with me, because it's like those little things. It's like I've been sitting on this for years, and I'm like, whatever, and then it blows up.
That's wild.
I've had many of those same feelings with cryptocurrency. It's like every time you're like, why am I holding this? Why don't I just fucking get rid of this weird ass Litecoin? It's just, I'll just get rid of some of them. And literally within hours, it's quadrupled or something.
It is the damnedest thing.
You just feel such remorse, dude.
Yeah. Like the greed sets in. You're like, I could have had this much.
Dude, if I had all the Bitcoin that, I've had. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
If I had all the Bitcoin that I've owned over the years,
I know.
buying it at, $300. I remember it when I first started buying it, something like that, $350 for a Bitcoin.
I remember when a buddy, it was, I can't remember what the price was, and he was telling me about it. And I looked at it, and then I was going to buy some, and it was one of the earlier exchanges, and you had to submit your driver's license. I was like, that seems a little iffy.
Yeah.
And here we are. Now, who knows if I would have hung on to it or whatever, but
it's at 48,000 right now.
It's crazy. When I bought it, it was maybe 2016 or so. And then you had to do the Ripple address and write down this like 16-digit number and all that stuff and transfer it over.
Yeah, that was.
Did you hear about that story where the guy paid with the Tesla with Bitcoin, one of the first purchases, cost him like $91,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was back almost 10 years ago at this point. I don't even know.
The first actual purchase with Bitcoin was like a pizza delivery or something for,
It's crazy.
Bitcoin. Yeah, here's 200 Bitcoin for a pizza. That dude's sitting on a. And there was recently the guy couldn't find his password to his.
Oh, my wife showed me that. We're just talking about it. Yeah.
Ooh, that would crush me.
Yeah, only like one more attempt, and so he wasn't going to try to.
He's supposedly like searching the dumps to find the hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another guy. Yeah.
I think people do that for a living.
Yeah.
Like scrap and like specifically look for hard drives to find old crypto.
Huh.
It's crazy.
Really?
Holy shit. Thank you.
Can't figure out this
Jessica's
mobile.
fresh baked cookies, so go fuck yourself. It's fucking fantastic.
They say that Ethereum is supposed to be the next Bitcoin. I mean, who knows, you know?
I'm with you. You can use they do smart contracts through Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's they've done like $1 billion in transaction.
Yeah.
Already, just like a smart contract. It's awesome.
Well, they say Bitcoin, for transactions is like super clunky. And they say even Doge is much better. So
Wow.
I think I'm gonna just keep like buying. Like I've bought a bunch. I have like 20 something billion in Sheeb, and then like buying some of these other more elusive ones, and just I'll let them sit. Just say, who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, Neo is my weird one that I I bought a shit ton of it. I don't know how much I have, but a shit ton of it. I always buy it randomly just to have more of it. But it was when I first. I don't even know why I thought it was like it's like the Chinese Bitcoin. This shit. It was like 12 cents or 34 cents or something. I don't even know how much it's worth right now, but looked in forever. It's not like on most of your exchanges, like, you know what I mean? It's one of those that you got to like add to your list of ones you want to track to even know what the fuck's going on.
Hey, who knows though? You know.
But I got real into it for a while. I was like buying and selling during the day. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
Just catching the exchange up a couple points in hours and making some money. And I made a lot of money that way. It was fun.
That was my only fuss with Robinhood is you couldn't set like stop limits on your crypto. And so, unless you were glued to a screen all day, you're not going to make money trying to trade it.
Right.
But the what is it? Coinbase Pro. That one lets you do it. So I've done a few on there, just to set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Now, is it a separate account from your regular Coinbase, or can you just upgrade?
Yeah. No, it's a separate one.
That's
so I've got Coinbase Pro, Coinbase, and then my Coinbase wallet. They're all three separate.
Right.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I did the Uniswap and MetaMask, I think it was.
Okay.
I'm a Kraken guy myself. I mean, I use Coinbase and everything too.
Yeah.
Just quick shit. But I also, I've went through pretty hardcore gambling with cryptocurrency.
That sounds dangerous.
Well, it worked out pretty well.
All right. Well,
hence the house that Beanbag sold me. So yeah, I love fucking cryptocurrency for that reason.
Yeah. Well, hey, if it works, awesome.
Yeah, I highly recommend everybody own some. Just throw. That's what I think I told Beanbag that when we first started talking about it. Just throw $10 in it.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I was throwing a lot more than $10 back in the day.
I just don't know where to start. I have no idea where to start. I've never done it, never tried.
Throw $10 in it and divvy it up between you.
Well, and to your point, Ryan, like don't let anyone tell you where to start unless they're like a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
It's no one knows. It's all up in the air. Like, you just have to pick one and say, I like this name, and you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just hold that bitch.
Yeah. Yes, hold it. Don't sell it. No matter after you get years and years of inactivity, just let it sit there.
Yeah. Or else you'll be telling one of these sob stories like we have told investors. It's a boom. So just hold that shit because that $10 will fucking grow like you've never seen $10 grow before.
But really? I mean, how do you redeem it? I mean, what is it like having to deal with like a trust fund or something? Is it hard to get your money back out of it?
It's just the currency you exchange for the currency.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you can lose your money. Yeah, to be clear, it can go down, and you can just like like a stock.
Yeah.
You can lose it all. But yeah, you can using one of the apps, you just exchange it for again another currency or for US dollar, and you're done.
I've even used an app to pay for things in Bitcoin at Target and shit.
At Target?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Really?
Yeah.
No, Target's
There.
head of the game.
Just a scan of the QR code. That's it. You
That's
don't
wild.
it does. I assume it exchanges it during the transaction. You know what I mean? Like whatever the cost is, I'm sure it just exchanges it right then and there to US dollars and then pays that way.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works. You know what I mean? I don't think you're actually giving Target your Bitcoin. But it's still convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bag, are you still driving? You just chilling?
No, I pulled off here for a second. Yeah. That's how I'm able to stare down at it.
Where you at?
Actually close by that Shirelli's Pizza King area, Sardanos. Supposed to pick up some a small rick of wood, I guess, for the fireplace tonight.
Nice.
Bring me a small rick.
Gonna pay for it in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Shoot me your wallet. If you deliver it, I'll unload it. I'll have my kids.
Right.
We need some. We got a fireplace we only got 3 or 4 pieces of wood out there.
Yeah, we're going through it right now.
Mentioned that
All
last
the wood
year.
has snow on it.
Hope the power doesn't go out because we don't have any wood.
We tried to have them put in a real fireplace when we built this house, and they wouldn't do it.
Wow.
Dang.
Well, they said it was just going to be. They want the homes to be energy efficient and meet all these standards. And I can't remember the price tag they threw onto, and we were like, no, gas is fine. But I really wanted, I want to be out there chopping my own wood. And
Yeah.
Yep.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
But that is kind of whack. I assume it has things to do with like the energy ratings and all the fucking rebates to get on materials and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Those fucking pricks.
Assholes.
Yeah, wood is it's something special, man. It fucking burns your eyes, fucks your allergies out. You know what I mean? But
cooks your dinner.
It's so good. Something about it. You end up smelling like it for the next 4 or 5 days, and then you don't do it again for 2 months. That's kind of how our fireplace gets used.
There's nothing like a wood-fired pizza.
Ooh, that is nice.
I didn't know you had a fireplace bag like the wood. Is it wood?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where's it at? Like what floor?
The main living room, the first main floor.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So back to where we were headed with the VR shit there. I guess we'll jump right into the simulation if you want to. Scott, you want to?
Oh shit.
Thoughts on it?
We're gonna go deep.
Might as well.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That's something I love to talk about just as a thought experiment. So I don't, I'm not trying to say that I'm all in. But I don't know if Ryan, you and Bag are familiar with the simulation theory at all.
I've read a little bit about it, and Justin's talked about it before. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. You might have to. I don't know what we're doing. Yeah, give me an intro on this.
Jesus.
I hate you.
All right. So the simulation theory is the conversation around whether we are living in a simulation or not. And so there's three options here. So you've got the first option to whether this would be true or not, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I might butcher it a little bit. Or the 3 scenarios. So the first scenario is that life in general, and we'll just say humans on Earth, but life in general never gets to the point where it can create a true simulation, like a computer simulation of its ancestors. So that would mean like quantum computing never gets to the point where it can accurately create this. And so that's the first one. So if you believe that we'll never get to that point, whether it be some kind of planet-ending situation, or life just ultimately gets to a point where it obliterates itself in one way or the other, then that would mean we're not in a simulation. We just haven't got to that point.
Or a wall with technology that we can't.
Yeah, it's like the Great Filter.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
So there's one scenario. There's another scenario that says we are the first to get to this level, and we just haven't got there yet. So we'll ultimately get to a point where we can create our own ancestor simulation with our processing power in the Earth.
That's referred to as base reality?
That is correct. And so we are base reality. And then the third is that we are a simulation. And then statistically, and I wish I could go back and recite the numbers, but according to all the people smarter than myself, statistically, we are in a simulation as compared to those other scenarios. And what I like to use is like the Sims example. So essentially, everyone remembers Sims back when it came out.
For sure.
And so Sims, obviously it was rather rudimentary, but it was a simulation to some respect. And if you think they were able to create that simple simulation, and then every time that someone bought that game, which was millions and millions of times, that simulation was ran again and again and again. So that the simulation within the Sims world was ran, who knows, maybe 1 billion times over the course. And so the thought is, if we are going to get to that point, then our ancestor simulation will also be ran billions and billions of times. So the likelihood is that we're already in that simulation.
And not the base reality.
And then you can go down the rabbit holes of, okay, is it a simulation with multiple I don't want to call them aware individuals, but not NPCs, but like you and I are both experiencing the simulation together? Or is it my simulation? And then once this screen goes off, you guys disappear, and so on and so forth. So it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. And again, statistically, it makes sense. And it's funny how a lot of people they think it's just stupid until you get down to the meat of it, I guess.
Yeah. I think most people's problem is not being able to fully understand where technology, how much has advanced in the past 20 years just with video games. If you look at VR, how much, just the fact that it exists. Remember the NES Mario Tennis VR? Do you remember that? The super, it was
the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy.
Bingo.
The headache in a box.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was your first kind of glimpse into what you would be seeing today with the mask and visual screen and stuff. But
that's true.
You combine what we have currently with the expectation that it's just going to continue to increase to the point where it's indistinguishable from when you take the mask off, meaning we will one day be able to simulate feelings, excitement, pain through neural networks or whatever the means of technology is to do that. But to where we just can't, we don't know if we're in it or we're out of it. So if that's the case, and that's bound to happen, which it seems likely because that's just technology continuing to increase, and it's hard to prove that it hasn't already happened.
Right. Well, and a lot of people use that to try and explain things like the Mandela effect as well.
Yeah.
Or even something, and this is something that they actually touched on that movie I sent you the link to or tagged you in or whatever. And I know we've all had this happen where if you think about something like totally random, maybe a person that you haven't thought about in 30 years, and then the next day you run into that person.
Yeah.
Things like that, and And there was a guy on that movie, and I've read of other people doing this too, where they start tracking things in their life, and they start to see a pattern. And again, you can say you're making that pattern because you're starting to track it. Exactly. So there's a cause and effect there. Or you can say that you're seeing the pattern, and it is a program. But then there's something else where when you talk about, and I'm trying to remember what they call it, but and I'm going to butcher this too, but it was, when you view something, like you view a molecule or a proton or a neutron, that it changes how it reacts when it's being viewed versus when it's not. And they did that slit experiment.
What's that called? The spooky. It doesn't have something to do with spooky, like the scientific. Come on, science teacher. What is that? The observation law.
The spooky what? I'm lost on that one. The spooky view. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Spooky. But what's the observation law where matter changes when it's being observed? Any idea what the name of that is?
I can't remember the actual name. I've got
is this what you're thinking about?
What?
The spooky action, Einstein's theory of action at a distance.
Physics, action at a distance can be moved, changed, or otherwise affected without being physically touched by another object.
Yeah, no, same thing.
Well, it's similar. I think it was like the slit?
Yeah, the
double slit experiment.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's and like any other theory, you can convince yourself, and you can start looking for trends to prove your point. The confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The double slit experiment.
Nice.
I was looking to see, but yeah. So basically, when they shoot, what were they shooting through? I guess essentially particles.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
a
coherent light source.
And then the pattern would change, and it didn't make sense, I guess, when they were viewing it.
They're doing a lot of crazy things with light right now, like using it for different sources of energy and shit. Basically the same process of photosynthesis they're trying to, they're recreating now with metamaterials. And it seems pretty cool. It's a whole field of study. It's like the quantum, some kind of quantum light distribution shit that's being studied now. It seems pretty cool. And that's where I get lost. My technical ability to understand, it's like anything. There's a language to it. Once you get so advanced in the medical field, if you don't know how to speak in that language, it's hard to really comprehend what you're talking about or learning. It's the same thing with these science fields. It's like there's, especially just engineering alone, there's mechanical, quantum engineers, aerospace engineers that know all of the above type shit.
Yeah,
it's really and that shit fascinates me, man. I love those rabbit holes. That's what I do when I want to fall asleep, is I throw on some kind of quantum field theory talk or something. You know what I mean? I just get lost in not being able to understand anything, and it makes me go to sleep.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I get to the point where I can understand. I get the gist of what they're saying, but I can't repeat it very well. Like I don't have that ability. But yeah, no, it's fascinating stuff. And again, going back to the simulation theory, I love the thought. And if we are, it doesn't matter. Like you still have the rules. So say we are in a simulation, there's still rules to that simulation, and you still have life, and there's still repercussions to your actions. You still have a family, you still have this. But it's fun to think about, when it's over, is it going to be like, I don't know if you guys watch Rick and Morty, where you're going to take the helmet off and you're in the arcade, and then it's time to, you put it back on, you pump another quarter in, and you do a whole nother life. I don't know, but it's fun to think about.
Yeah. it really gets crazy when you think about how many different, how far away from base reality you might be, and just trying to peel those layers of the onion back and imagining what the base layer may actually look like or be like. If we're not it, what's the potential of base reality being just something we can't even fathom?
Well, and is it and so there's something else that's funny. So we talked about the beanbag, remembering how that happened.
Yeah.
And I was curious to see how that came out, because there's memories even with my wife, that we remember certain things very different, and there's with friends too. There's things we remember completely different, and then so somewhat sound down the same rabbit hole, whether it be a simulation or a different dimension, and the discussion of and here's what. So I've heard a theory of, when you go to sleep, where's your consciousness go? Does it stay in this dimension, or when you wake up, does it pop into one slightly different? And again, hence that, and you could lead that to the Mandela effect or some other things.
I like this question. Can you prove you're the same person you were when you fell asleep?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what fucks me up.
Yeah.
It's a weird fucking thought.
Well, and it's like, so if we remember something completely different, then, okay, so this is not the same wife that I was with a few months ago. It's someone off that timeline.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Like, I think it's just incredible to think about. But
yeah, that's why you hear so many of those weird ass stories about, people shifting from one timeline to another. You know what I mean? There's famous stories of, there's a real popular one. This guy shows up at the Japanese airport claiming to be from some country that didn't exist and blah blah blah, had passport, and then he fucking disappears.
Yeah, he's just gone. Yep.
Yeah, there's a ton of those. I really like the multi-dimensional theory, like that every kind of action, basically life choice becomes a split reality, and there are infinite versions of yourself based on every decision you've ever chosen. You know what I mean? And each person has their own. Yeah. And the whole non-playing character, like NPC non-playing characters from Skyrim and shit, that's the shit I noticed, like, because there's only so many people that you've seen, but you start seeing that everybody looks the same as somebody else you've already seen.
Exactly.
Everybody is a doppelganger, and it's like, wait a second, are these fucking even real fucking people? Like,
it's like they just went in and tweaked the facial hair. They tweaked the slider bar just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's real fucky. Like,
it is. If you look for it, and again, are you convincing yourself? And like with the people thing, like I noticed that quite a bit, and I'm like, man, what?
Yeah.
And I'll be watching a movie, and I'll have to look up. I'll be like, they look exactly like this other actor, and I'll have to look up and see if they're related. They're not, and I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah. Like you can pick up and go to any major city and find another version of us there.
Yeah, it's wild.
There'll be some motherfucker that looks just like each and every one of us that are not anything like us, but just fucking look just like us. You know what I mean?
There's some bag sitting in his car waiting to get a pizza.
Yeah. Fucking blowing snows. Shit's awesome, man. Those are the thoughts I like to have. One of my favorite things I learned in the past couple of months, it was like a quote about consciousness. It was like, consciousness is what it feels like for your brain to process complex algorithms. So consciousness is what the processing of complex algorithms feels like. So basically, it's the concept of your brain is surrounded by EMF field that is constantly taking this simulation that tells the neurons in your brain to fire and then sends signals to do various things, and really forms your reality, your perception of reality. Everything is based on these electromagnetic signals that your brain is picking up in this little, very small field around your physical head. You know, and that's all that consciousness is our brain processing those calculations at the speed of fucking light or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like whatever crazy unimaginable speed that is. That's all consciousness in reality is just the perception of the solving of those stimulating inputs. And it can vary so much differently from person to person, which could lead to different memories. And, you know, it is fucked up. It's really mind blowing to me that it's that wide ranging of possibility of different, you know, like sitting in the same room physically next to somebody can have totally different perceptions of reality.
Well, yeah, even just your eyes and like your interpretation of certain colors could be complete, and you'd never know because you can't articulate that because we're all taught the same thing, but what you're seeing could be extremely different than what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Just all the senses that we don't have as humans that other animals have. Being able to see like ultraviolet spectrum, you know, all kinds of crazy smelling, hearing abilities that we just don't have, and then our brain naturally filters out anyway because it thinks it's not necessary for survival.
Right.
That's a lot of shit.
Well, and the fact that your brain puts that image together, you know, it takes the input and it makes sense of it, and so that's
and its major job is to protect you, and it protects you by filtering out all the unnecessary nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's why you hear people be like, you know, your CIA agents can walk into the room and know where all the outlets are and all that bullshit. It's like, you know, it's because they're trained their brain to not filter that shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference, is just making your brain focus on those details instead of filtering them out like everybody else does. It's a weird fucking fucky thing. I like it.
So I wondered so I used to be a big believer in ghosts. Like I was all in.
Yeah.
And now not so much. Like, but I wondered if it's something like, so if simulation, is it just something programmed? Is it a glitch? Is it someone popping in? Or if it's another dimension, is it another being or whatever that is? I don't know what really clicked, but I don't think there's ghost anymore. Like I've seen some weird things too. Like as a kid, I would tell you I've seen ghosts. I've seen a man in a hat and things like that. And now I'm like, I still know I still feel like I saw that and I can still see it, but I don't know if it was a ghost or if it was just another player. I don't know.
Yeah, I equate it to, you know how like when you're playing Call of Duty and you die, you can switch to watch somebody else's, you know, playing.
Yeah,
I kind of equate it to that. Like you're just moving around the game field, watching other people do their thing while you're waiting to respawn or whatever.
Can I get 2 bundles of wood, please?
Hell yeah.
Actually, go 3.
Nice. That was perfect.
Are you for real bringing me wood? Hey, are you bringing me wood?
Oh,
it won't hurt my feelings if you do. Where do you go buy wood, by the way? Where you at
a gas station? Looks like it. Look at that.
He's at fucking Sears.
Sears. Yes. I go down to my local JC Penney.
Oh shit.
No,
that
Speedway.
Yeah, all the gas stations here in Colorado have stacks of wood.
I hate your ear, dude.
Look at that. That looks
awesome. They got the little bundles outside. Yeah.
Oh, I know where he's at. Yeah. Maybe.
S-Berg.
Oh.
Anyway,
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't hurt my feelings to think we are.
No. But what got me into finding that quote about consciousness just being a, you know, processing of information was Jessica. She's a nurse, so she's taking, you know, learn all these fucking, what all your neurons do and how they send signals and what And then it literally like just led me to, okay, we were basically talking about it. We were trying to understand it. So she was trying to explain it to me. That's how she learns, is to teach me, basically. It helps her. So I just started deep diving in. It's like, okay, so the brain accepts all this data, processes it like a GPU, sends all the fucking code out to all the organs and other shit. And that's all that happens. There's nothing special to it. It is unique to the individual because of every GPU is different. You know what I mean? Some have gotten viruses, some have gotten I got a bunch of cookies I probably need to get rid of. You clear the cache, shit like that. It's all the same. We're processing the same kind of, that's the question. Are we processing the same stimulus, or is it individualized for each of us?
I think I'm jumping in on the convo here, because I had to go do a couple things. I'm making brownies for the kids.
Nice.
But what's interesting is that there's so much stimulus throughout the course of a given day that our brains do not process, only because we haven't trained our brains to recognize those signals in the moment. So, and the brain is perfectly capable of creating new pathways in order to be able to process information. It's like you just have to retrain yourself to notice the world around you. But that's what's sort of fascinating to me about it is like, what if we could train our brains to actually identify as much information as possible? Because it is sort of like a survival of the fittest kind of thing. We naturally have to let some information go in order to maintain our survival, our comfort level.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we could, train our brains to recognize everything, that's available to us? I mean, are we capable of doing that? And if we did that, how far would we recognize we've gone into the simulation or otherwise?
I think that's why you've always heard that we'll use 50% of our brains and blah, blah, that whole like nonsense field of just random, we don't use all our brain shit that doesn't really have any bearing in reality, but it's just one of those common things you hear. I think it's for that reason. Like, I think, it is possible to train your brain to do some really fucked up shit. And I think there are a lot of people that do it. What's the Iceman dude's name, Scott? You know what I'm talking about?
Gosh, I don't know his name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically a dude that just is able to hang out in Arctic.
Yeah, he can lower his raise his body temperature or whatever he does. And yeah.
I was actually watching an interview with, Steph Curry from Golden State Warriors, NBA player.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to, during a timeout of a basketball game, so he's playing basketball, they call a timeout, and he's able to lower his heart rate down to like 80 beats per minute in like a minute and a half during a timeout. That's why he's always so relaxed and calm. Like he is like trained himself to do that. They've measured it. He purposely spends time working on it. It's pretty badass. A lot of fighters do that too, apparently, in between rounds. Like it's a very helpful technique to, recover quickly, shit like that. You know what I mean?
It's figured out how to hack the system.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Is that the new steroid? Is it a CRISPR? Is CRISPR new steroid, just gene editing and altering, maximizing the fucking, graphics cards and shit that we got?
All right, would you guys, if so, say like Neuralink keeps going and eventually they have it to where it's just open to anyone, would you guys be open to having something installed?
No. Not personally, no. But, well, I mean, it would depend on.
I guess that's that's a loaded.
What its use would be,
open question there. I mean, obviously. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's if I could do like a deep dive Black Mirror episode without the black of like I could go into a simulation and like I lay back, my eyes glass over, and I'm there. And you know, I'd be all in on that for sure.
It's a really
now I don't
inception thing.
Yeah, I'd say like depending on the application, for sure.
Now I don't want to do it just to be able to text faster on my phone or anything like that.
Yeah. But if I could do it to like regulate my sleep better, that would be pretty awesome. You know?
Yeah.
Something that's functional that can.
Yeah. I'm in the sign me up camp myself, like right away. But I'm also like proud of the
whatever they got, just bring it on. Let's see.
Yeah. The way I see it is, I'm fucking gonna run this meat bag into the ground as hardcore as I possibly can. I'm gonna use every fucking, you know, wrinkle of skin I got and abuse the fuck out of it. So I'm just trying to like be patient enough with it, so it can be steadily replaced as needed by technology. I'm hoping that I'm in that lifetime where I can live long enough to replace the shitty shit I'm fucking around with, with, you know, just a plug to the simulation, basically. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to bide my time and hope that
they could just upload you in somewhere and yeah.
Which they're already fucking doing. They're creating AI of dead people now. You can like get an AI made of like your dead relative.
I saw the thing where they used. Did you see where they used VR and they had the little girl and her mother?
No.
Yeah, it was terrible. Oh my gosh, what a. So basically, yeah, this, and I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but this poor mother lost her little girl who had to be like 5 or something, and they recreated her in VR from like memories and stuff, and so her mom puts on the headset. And this little girl's like, oh, hey, mommy, I love you. Do you miss? And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? And she's crying, and I'm like, just rip open that wound. I mean,
yeah, that's
no kidding.
That sounds like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Oh
I mean, I understand the concept, but that situation, I mean, I think that would be more apt for someone who's like your elderly father has passed and.
Yeah, you want to go talk to grandma again.
Yeah, but not your kid. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's
where it'll become huge is because of our generation, really. We'll have a large enough data profile to be able to pretty much recreate ourselves pretty accurately, like an AI version.
Oh, yeah. They can pull anyone's MySpace.
Yeah, like down to voice.
Yeah.
Facial patterns, everything. Like, the data will be there when the time comes for it to be like available. You know what I mean? When it becomes prevalent, there'll be enough data to recreate us virtually pretty easily.
And I just figured the most relevant was MySpace. I just wanted to throw that out there because that's
Tom. Fucking Tom. Shit is wild, man.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Again, and I tell you what, not to go back to it, but I'll find myself driving and I'll think about the whole NPCs, and you know, I look around at people and I'm like, I wonder if this is all just for me. Like there's a mountain on the other side of that. I wonder if there's just nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, again, it doesn't change my life, but I find myself thinking about it more and more.
To me, it gives me more. I think that thought experiment gives me more freedom of control than a religious thought experiment does.
It makes me almost laugh when something shitty happens, to some respect. Like I'm like, oh, okay, got me again.
Yeah.
Let's all right. Let me put another quarter in this machine here. Let's keep going. I got this. Versus like getting down and being like, God damn it, you know, I have like your point. I have no control, and maybe we don't, to some respect. Maybe it is just a bunch of chaos.
It's kind of like basically the whole like religion, I guess, kind of creates parameters where a simulation opens up parameters, like makes everything seem way more possible than a religious.
Yeah, the world is a lot bigger with a simulation as opposed to restricting yourself.
The freedom to think you can actually accomplish anything you put your mind to is a lot more prevalent if you believe in a simulation theory over like a religious banishment to hell theory. You know?
There are definitely restrictions to that.
Right. I mean, it's pretty fucking limiting when you start, if you're concerned about going to hell, like it fucking limits what you do. Like it or not, if that thought is in your brain, it's going to affect your decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you think it's a simulation and you have the ability to control it to a certain degree, you're more apt to be more confident in your decisions, I guess.
Yep.
So I'm not worried about the Lord coming to get me.
Me either.
Coming to get you, boy.
Well, and, into that, is it so are the Elon Musk of the world, have they figured it out? Did they and obviously, like, Elon Musk is super intelligent. I'm a big fan.
Sure.
But is he like the better player who's just figured out the simulation quicker than all of us? I don't know, but it does, to your point, it does say that, yeah, you can improve.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to figure it out. You just got to keep going.
I view Elon more as a quest giver. He's one of those, not an NPC, but like interactive, like.
Dude, that is a hell of a, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, he's a little shop guy. You go trade your wares to and hear his story, and so kind of, you know what I mean? Give you a glimpse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Elon for me. He's well into the like believer of the simulation, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Was he just on Joe Rogan yesterday?
Hey, today, I think it was today, wasn't it? I caught some clips. It sucks now that, I mean, as much as I hate like the restrictions of YouTube,
I'm not switching.
Dude, until they get their video running, like, I don't want to sit there, stare at my screen at a Joe Rogan emblem and listen to them talk. I want to see the interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the only thing that pissed me off about the Switch, is that they didn't have that up and running. They're working on it apparently, but it's not ready yet.
It's not the same. It's been real sad for me. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
It's been a real bummer.
Why did they do that? What's hard to get up and running about video for that particular?
They just didn't have it. Like, you could do it on your phone and thing, but they didn't have the TV apps ready for video.
Like, I can't just open Spotify on my Xbox and watch the episode like I could with YouTube. You know what I mean? That's the convenience.
But
plus
YouTube's restrictions are just crazy. Like, I get the trademarks and licensing. Like, I totally understand that. But it just seems to go overboard to some respect. And maybe that's just my opinion, but
it's cool to take something down if it violates some copyright shit. You know what I mean? But if you're taking something down based on its content alone, that's real fucking, unless it's like straight up illegal content, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like, absolutely. Yeah.
They're banning particular speech and shit. That's where it gets scary to me. That's a big political argument currently happening, the big tech argument. But that shit's been wild, dude. I saw Twitter ban Project Veritas today, and that was a big
thing. Yep.
It's fucking wild, dude.
That's journalism, essentially. And it's not, from everything I've seen, and that's not like fake videos. Like, he's basically just doing investigative reporting,
like actual journalism work.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, so seems legit, but yeah, I don't know. But no, I agree on the trademark stuff, but it's hard. Like, why can't they just allocate funds? Like, so at the arcade, we still have a YouTube channel. We don't do much on it anymore, but we had one, and we were doing Beat Saber a lot. And Beat Saber had like Imagine Dragons and several other popular groups on there. And as soon as we would upload a video, even though they put it out on there, like, it immediately get flagged, copyright infringement, blah 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 blah. Not that we were monetized anyway, right. But we were like, hey, I wonder how far we can get. and we would get shot down every time. And it's just like, okay, you guys put it out there and said, hey, make videos with this, and then I don't know.
Yeah, for as much content is uploaded to it, their algorithms are really quick to shut some shit down. That's for sure. It's a lot of content.
I'll turn on stuff to go to sleep to sometimes, and I'll turn on like the King of Queens on YouTube, and it's funny, like I guess to circumvent the algorithms and the audio AI, it'll be the King of Queens, and so they'll zoom in on the picture, but then they'll also have like little bells and things chiming in the background, and it's really weird. If there's a quiet and nobody's talking, it's like, what is that? What's going on?
Just enough to trick the fucking algorithm.
Yeah,
that's how I've watched a lot about things like that. Somebody would be live streaming a UFC fight or something. You know what I mean? It'll be like this. It'll be picture in picture on the corner, and it'll be super zoomed in, all weird. And
the kids watch SpongeBob 24/7 on YouTube, and it's like SpongeBob in a picture, and then another picture down here with something else going, and yeah.
Stupid, real stupid. But I'm also in the camp of I hate paying for content. I don't know why that changed with me, but I don't know.
I'm bad about that. Like we cut the cord a long time ago, and so we pay for like Netflix and things like that.
Yeah.
But then we also use Kodi.
I went through that phase.
Yeah.
Don't use it anymore, but...
Do you still use it?
Nah, it's been a while.
Do
you, Scott?
Yeah. Now we use it with a paid service called Real to Brit.
Okay.
That actually, you get private server, and it works great. Like you don't have to constantly change add-ons, etc. Now I get it.
Yeah, that was my problem. I just gave up.
Yeah, no, with Real to Brit, like we haven't changed anything, and we've always got 4K stuff. Again, I understand what it is, and there's no excuse. And it's somewhat lazy, but I'm not perfect.
It's real obvious that it's moving to an a la carte situation anyway, where everything is trying to be its own service, and you're going to pay the same amount you're going to pay for a bundled cable package, just piecemealed between 15 different individual services.
Yeah, if you want everything, but I think a lot of people, and that's why it needs to go piecemeal, is a lot of people don't want everything. I don't. There's like I don't have TV. I haven't had TV for 2 decades now. For one, I love HBO, so I have an HBO subscription, and I'm grateful that they did that so that I can watch HBO.
What do you got? Cable? What do you got?
We have, of course, like Insight or Spectrum for internet. Then we do Hulu, Netflix, Prime.
See, I have all the above and fucking Uverse. And the only reason I have Uverse.
Yeah, we had Disney for a while when it was free with Verizon customers. That whole year, really.
I don't ever use the like Uverse box to like flip channels, but I use the Uverse account to log into all the individual apps. Like, I'll watch NBA on TNT, so that use your Uverse account to log into all those like Fox and Fox Sports, and that's the biggest reason
cool.
I have it, because you're able to I'll watch sports, and that's the best way to get access to it.
We went from the opposite, like cutting the cord pretty much for cable, to getting the small Hulu package, to where we just got kind of, I don't know what you want to call it. We went upgraded to the very highest one, which was like the no ads and live and all that stuff. And it's just getting excessive at this point. It was quick to upgrade $15 every few months. And now we've got of course, that's what they want you to do. Now we got the biggest package, and we're right back where we were probably.
Yeah.
I wanted Adrian to get the Peacock. That's got some good material on it.
Is that is that NBC, ABC?
Yeah. MB, whatever the
NBC.
It's for something else.
There you go. But it's got Battlestar Galactica on it, which I was pretty excited about.
Oh yeah.
It has all the old time, like, I'm a sucker for like Columbo and all those old
Yeah.
Columbo, Murder, She Wrote. They have them all on there. It's great.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
And really because of, oh, my bad.
Oh, you're good. When you said Peacock, I heard the dun, 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 like the tone.
Yeah.
But I couldn't equate it to which letter.
Back in the day.
It's weird. My bad, Bag. What were you saying?
No, you good. Really kind of back to the stock crypto thing. I got some Fubo and had no idea what it even was. And now I'm kind of interested in just trying that out for a little bit and seeing how it is compared to Hulu.
Fubo. What is that?
That's the it's the new streaming, right?
Yeah. I didn't even know about it. Yeah.
Fubo TV.
Mm-hmm.
How's Apple TV? Anybody have that? That's one thing I've never tried.
Primarily sports, it looks like.
See, I'm a sports guy. Like the biggest thing for me, sports. I watch NBA, I watch UFC, but it's almost impossible to watch Indiana basketball if you don't have the Big Ten Network or Fox or whatever.
That's the way it is here for me too, with Colorado Boulder basketball.
Yeah,
you have to have the Pac-12 network,
and they don't have it a la carte. They have a Big Ten Plus, but it doesn't give you access to it if it's on the regular Big Ten network. You know, I fucking hate it. I would love to cancel that, but it's got its conveniences.
Well, stupid with UFC, you couldn't just buy a UFC pay-per-view anymore. You had to have ESPN Plus, and then get the pay-per-view, which was horseshit.
I'm not trying to go on off a sports tangent, but isn't it about time they fucking stop doing pay-per-views altogether? Isn't the idea of pay-per-views fucking 30 years ago? And if they want,
it would be nice. They just roll with it and make money off the advertising like everyone else and be done.
Put the main event on ESPN prime time. You already have a partnership with ESPN. Stop fucking the nonsense. It's not Mike Tyson in '94. Fucking stop it. It's $70 fucking dollars, dude.
Yeah.
And I watch fucking UFC all the time. I'm excited about what's the next Usman Gilbert fight coming up. I'm super stoked about it. I'll be watching it, but I fucking pisses me off paying for it every single time.
Yep.
Just to me, if you want to be a legitimate sport, you can't be charging people to be a fan of it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, you can charge people to go to the venue, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they make a killing. Well, they had people at the Connor fight, didn't they?
Yeah, it was limited, I think.
Yeah.
Fight Island or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's how the NBA does it. NBA plays fucking 2,000 games a fucking season, but all their money, they have just different TV contracts that make a shit ton of money off of.
Or you can get the NBA pass. You can watch every game.
It's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Well, pass is like $180 a season or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's real dumb. Like I'll never pay for that shit. I'll stream. That is one thing I do stream.
But you have access to every game.
Yeah, you do. But it's also super easy to find a free stream of it. And that's what I do. Fuck all that. Because I'm a Toronto Raptors fan and it's like a Canadian team. So all their games are on like Canadian Sports Network. See it. And so I just have to stream them. Do you use a VPN, Scott?
For work, but no, not. I should on my other shit and I don't.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about getting ExpressVPN just so we can do Netflix from other countries and get more content.
Yeah.
But I haven't. I mean, I haven't watched all the content.
I've been thinking about it a lot more lately, just because I'm curious of how much shit is filtered out of my access to view.
Yeah.
And how much, you know what I mean? Like.
Well, it's funny. I've seen where they go through and show you how something as simple as like the Google algorithms change.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're at. I mean, I get it. That's their business. But it's interesting. I heard a discussion the other day, and they talked about how, you know, we have opinions, whether political or whatever they are. And most of us can't understand how someone who doesn't share the same opinion, why they would think something else if they're seeing the same thing that we are, but they're not. They're seeing something totally different than us. And so, yeah, of course they're going to have a different opinion.
Yeah. Me and Jess were watching something last night about Tulsi Gabbard and how she had that issue with Google during her campaign.
Yep.
They actually showed, like, you know, if you just type your name into Google search, how if you change the VPN to any other country other than the United States, it would give you the very first result would be her website and YouTube page. But if you just did it from the United States, it would be like page 10 or something ridiculous, like super buried.
Yeah.
It would just, it's real fucky how it can be kind of manipulated like that. And how much of it is being manipulated is real scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's weird, the amount of control. We actually started watching that Social Dilemma finally. Now, obviously, I understand the control. And I've come to accept. I mean, we've got like the Google smart shit in our houses that's listening to us, and I'm like, good on them. If there's someone dedicated to listening to me bullshit all day, I applaud you for wasting your time. But I mean, it's amazing how much they influence and how much data they have on all of us.
And not having control over it, and not being recognized for being as valuable as it actually is before it got out of hand, which it already has.
Yep.
Is fucking nuts. I mean, I love the convenience of it. I love having all my advertisements catered to shit that I've said out loud or something. You know what I mean? That's, and I appreciate it. And I like where it's headed, but at the same time, it's like, whoa, stop it. Quit looking at me. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I do like, you know, if I get on my phone and I see something neat, I'm like, all right, yeah, I want that. Awesome. Thank you. Well done.
Yeah.
And I like getting on YouTube, and I get on in the morning when I drink my coffee, and oh, there's another simulation theory video. Why not?
Which I'm sure will be after we end this conversation.
Oh yeah, it's going to be loaded.
Yeah.
But to the point, it's like but sometimes it gets weird. Like sometimes I talk about I want to get some pink shoes, and lo and behold, I pull up my phone and there's pink shoes ads, or something stupid, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah.
You do find it makes you feel a little naked sometimes, like caught me without my clothes on phone, you know what I mean? Not like physically seeing me naked, you know, kind of peered behind my curtain of my thoughts way a little too much there. Apple, knock it off. You know?
It's amazing the amount of data they have on all of us. And what I mean, you know, for those of us who aren't doing anything expressly illegal, then whatever, it really doesn't change a whole lot.
That's the rub right there, though. Who decides what's fucking acceptable and how quick
corporations do now.
Yeah, we're getting down a weird.
Tech companies decide.
We're going down a weird road of who decides what. Now it's getting a little
I don't. It's talking about you know.
Hey Charlie.
Hey Charlie. Yeah, they're gearing down for bed. You want to say hi?
Of course he does. Come here, Charlie. Say hi. Hi. Hey. He's awesome, dude. He's got here. Oh, cool. What are you playing? Oh, okay. Cool beans.
Okay.
What's that? Oh. Cool, dude. Later, bro.
Nice.
Later, Charlie. I love you. I'll be out in a few minutes. Okay, bud. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at, you know, all just misinformation, you know, bad reporting and whatnot, you know, and all of that given credence by just the amount of people viewing it and internalizing it and stuff. So I hate that kind of crap, but I think it's going down a really, really dangerous road when tech companies just start kicking people off because they're saying something that's just not true. I mean, it's incumbent upon the public to do their own research too, and not just be told what to believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and because at any moment these big tech companies can just come back on us, you know, come back on me as a liberal, and you know, decide that I should be banned now. You know, even though I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm just talking. You know.
Well, and the worst thing you could do for someone you don't agree with is to send them off on their own echo chamber.
Yeah,
and let them work versus having a conversation and saying, okay, well, let's talk about what you think and what I think, and let's figure out why is there this
exactly
this discrepancy.
I mean, this is how terrorism cells are formed through isolation.
You only beat bad speech with good speech. You don't. That's the only way to silence it is with.
Well, yeah, and how you relate to one another. I mean, more Zoom meetings, more face-to-face conversations.
Yeah.
You know, less just pontificating on Facebook about some random thing. You know, people need to find a way to make connection, and it's just by isolating them further, it doesn't do anything at all.
If you're like me and you question anything, every time you see somebody silenced, like, well, that motherfucker was probably telling the truth about something.
Yeah.
Why was he silenced?
Yeah.
It's a way more credence than it would have naturally. It almost draws more attention to it when it's being silenced or removed. You know, it's like, well, what did it say? I'm curious now what it fucking said. I didn't care before, but I hear it now.
I mean, having an alternate perspective, a news perspective, be it based in reality or not, helps inform your own perspective in some way.
That's why Faces of Death was so popular when we were it was because you weren't supposed to watch it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to watch that shit. I'm going to watch it.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to talk.
The first time we watched that, I was like, oh, I feel terrible. This is horrible.
Was that old website?
Dude, they're old VHSs.
Yeah.
What was that website that was kind of like that then, where it was just the most messed up?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. Meat Spin. There's a bunch of them.
That's your bookmark.
BME Pain Olympics. Do you remember those?
No, it was something close to that Faces thing.
The Pain Olympics was basically
where all the people that I got on train wrecks would all be posted up.
It's the like self-inflicted pain. It was a bunch of videos of like people destroying their own genitals and just.
That sounds productive.
Oh my god,
dude!
Oh my god!
Give it a Goog sometime.
This is what happens when you end up in isolation.
BME Pain Olympics. This was 98. It was late 90s when this was a big thing. Back when, remember the guy who set on mason jar in his ass and it shattered?
No.
Remember that one?
I missed that one.
Come on, bro. Am I the only weird and twisted one here? You don't know.
Learning stuff.
I mean, I can assume that someone
death and then jump to Two Girls, One Cup. So,
well, it's along the lines of Two Girls, One Cup. It's just a guy like squatting his asshole onto a mason jar, and halfway down it fucking shatters and just fucking blood everywhere, bro. It's fucking crazy.
Oh,
like you just see it like pressure, just pour. And then the whole the guy that got basically raped to death by a horse who died. That was a.
I didn't see that one either.
He actually fucking died.
Hey, I'm thinking it was rotten.com.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Good one.
I had to look up.
I say, Did you go through your browser history?
It actually said it ended in 2012, the website I found.
Wow. Yeah, there was Faces of Death, Tales of Death. There was like a whole.
There was Traces of Death too.
Yeah, there it is. That Tales is Traces. Tales from the Crypt, Traces of Death. Yeah, those were big movie rentals back in the day. Like, you had to.
I remember watching Traces of Death with old Jonathan Couch.
In there.
Yeah.
With his mannequins.
Yes.
Ryan, this guy we went to school with, his name's Jonathan Couch. He's I don't know where he is nowadays, but he was awesome kid, super into movies. Like, I think he wanted to be like a director or movie guy or something.
He went out to LA for a while, and he acted like he was an extra in a few different things.
Didn't he get some kind of survivory some show on MTV?
Yeah. Yes. He was on it was a
Catfish.
Like real world road rules thing or something.
Yeah, it was like a dating. It was like a blind date show on MTV.
Like Next or one of those like weird.
Yeah,
the bus one.
It was hilarious, dude. He's so awkward on it.
Simeon. Fucking somebody Simeon.
I'm gonna have to find it now. Like, yeah.
Oh God, you gotta.
But anyway, Ryan, he had actual mannequins in his basement. Like he had a Aunt Jemima. I'm pretty sure he had like a Thomas Jefferson or something. You know, like just
it was weird,
super obscure ones that you wouldn't expect anybody to have.
That he just picked up at the mannequin store.
Well, his mom would dress him up for something too, and I don't know what was going on. Yeah, it was weird. Like I don't know what she was doing with them. Like dude, his folks were nice, and I mean they were fairly well off.
Yeah,
they just sold that house.
Really?
Yeah, I mean probably last year or so, off on Salem Noble.
Yeah,
it's still in the couch name. So
I wonder where they went.
Yeah, they were up to something though. They were on like different strokes.
Well, I think his dad sold or would lease property for movies or something weird. So there was something weird there. Yeah.
Yeah, obtained like a prop company type situation.
Mm.
But it was always,
or they were selling cocaine. I don't know, one or the other.
Yeah, we would always end up in his basement, like watching movies. You know what I mean? And just look over and a mannequin staring at you.
It's like shit. Oh God.
Yeah, it was strange. And they were always well dressed too. I do remember that. You're all right. They always.
Yeah, there was something going on there.
3-piece suits and.
It was the family she wanted or something. I don't know.
Lord.
I think it's the only time I've ever like sat in a dude's basement and watched movies while other dudes were in the basement, like in their tidy whities and shit.
I was gonna say that's what I only remember. Y'all were walked in on somebody playing Mortal Kombat. I think it was Jerry Bomber in his underwear.
That was a regular. Yep.
Yeah, like what is going on?
That was a frequent scene for sure.
A safe place, that's all. That's good shit.
Oh, dude.
Bag, what subject did you say you teach?
Science.
Okay.
All middle school.
So what's your like course material goes from what area to what area in general?
Almost both books are really similar. So it goes from the beginning of the cell to like Earth's crust and mantle and so forth. It's really generalized.
Okay. See, Brooklyn's 13. You said Nolan's 13, so yeah, right there. She's doing what kind of math class is she in, or science class? She just did a cell project not that long.
Yeah, we did that. I flipped the book around. So right now we're in chapter 1 in 7th grade, but chapter 11 in 8th grade. I don't go from like start to finish. I flip it around.
Gotcha. What's the step after your class to what? It's like
usually biology.
Okay.
So I tell them they'll learn the same stuff 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade, the majority.
Do you think that's strange that math is so like Brooklyn's 8th grade taking, algebra 1, 9th grade math or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like math is pushed so fast. Like they want your exposure to math to be as far as possible. But science, it seems really slow.
It's just, I think, barely now picking up that steam. Just not last year. It might have been 2 years ago. We started doing some 8th grade advanced or eighth grade, getting into like a beginner 9th grade course. So that's just, I think we're actually on our 2nd year of that.
What would you say?
Finally kind of like doing that, that scenario where you could have the younger kids in the older class.
Yeah. Where do you think where's the general like cap on high school science? Where does it leave off? It's been forever, you know what I mean?
Like course wise?
Yeah.
Personally, physics is dying off, which is the one I think opens up more problem solving and greater level of thinking. But
it's
the
dying
bio
off?
too. Yeah, we don't have physics anymore. It's becoming a harder to, well, I guess it comes at the beginning. or it starts at the beginning. It's a harder degree to get, not necessarily like to accomplish, but the positions that are open for just a designated physics teacher, that degree is harder to, get an employment with, I guess. So why would you do that? You need to generalize yourself into life science or earth space science, so you have a greater spectrum of courses you can teach.
Yeah.
But bio 2, anatomies and chemistries, just the more, I guess, occupation driven courses, nursing and all that stuff, because that's what you get those general courses in college.
Yeah.
Stop, guys.
Yeah, math, it seems like they're doing calc, right? High school is offering calculus, most high schools.
Yeah.
Calc 1 and 2 usually.
That's when I push it back.
Where does it go on the geometry side? Does it stop?
Pretty much the same, kind of like we had geometry, and then you have a couple algebras, and then you go the trig and calculus route or pre-cal.
I forgot about trig in there. Yeah. What's up, dude?
Hi.
You look tired, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. What you been up to?
Nothing. Building Legos.
Worm said he's way better than you at Fortnite and wants you to challenge him or something because he's getting tired of just killing everybody, he said.
I haven't played Fortnite in a long time.
Yeah, he got out of that for a little bit. He was doing it all day, every day for a long time, and then he hasn't done it probably a month.
That's always my excuse. I haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What were we talking about? Oh, science in school. It seems like there are a lot of expanding science fields.
I know. Absolutely.
I don't even understand how you go from just your standard to like the quantum science shit. Is that all grad level shit? Like,
yeah, I'd say so. Be so much more occupational career based that the outlook for those kind of jobs are way higher. A smaller spectrum or a little more niche. It's so, I guess, the life and the chemistry. Yeah.
Gotcha. Because chemistry is so involved with lab sciences, it seems like that's a pretty prevalent field there.
Yeah.
Mechanical engineers are, super prevalent, but aerospace engineers, you don't see much of that. I've never seen any discussion of those. I've never met one. Have you? I don't know anybody that's went into that field.
Seems like that should be the focus from us as a being trying to sustain ourselves. I mean, hell, the Earth will be done in a few million years, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're lucky, it lasts that long.
I mean, I guess, yeah. If we made it till the sun burned out or whatever, isn't that?
We got
a
billion years away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to set my calendar.
Set my Google alarms.
Your Christmas calendar.
Give me a heads up before that.
15-minute,
I want to get inside for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie Melancholia.
Oh yeah,
it's such a good movie. But just imagine yourself in that kind of scenario. The sun's about to explode, or there's going to be a planet collide with us.
Yeah, that's
just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how someone would react to that. I mean,
well, put yourself there. 15 minutes, you just get the alert. 15-minute warning. We're fucked. Shit's over in 15 minutes. What are you doing?
I mean, I guess the father in me is, I'm gonna just sit with my kids. So what else you gonna do? Dude, that reminds me of something I heard, and this was actually listening to Tulsi Gabbard on Joe Rogan, where they talked about what was that a couple years ago, where they had the fake Hawaii alarm.
Yeah.
And there was the parent who had to make the decision of which child, because they were like in the middle of the island, And so they had one child was on one side, one was on, so they had to decide which child to go see before everything blew up. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a terrible situation.
Yeah, I think there were a couple suicides because of it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
A lot of people took a
I hadn't heard of that.
It was a like a missile alert or something, if I'm recalling.
Yeah, someone
like
had
a red alert, like incoming.
wasn't it like someone had hacked the system? I say hack general. I mean, someone got into it and it was just a fake alert.
I think so. But it certainly looked like one, and made everyone think it was super fucking real.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
I don't know what movie you all were talking about earlier about sending a link or something. Have you all seen Vivarium?
What is it?
Vivarium.
The BAV?
Yeah, like
Rings
Vivarium, like the habitat.
Vivarium?
Yeah. I don't know. It's got that one of those kids that's in all the, well, I don't say kids, but that classic kind of nerdy actor in it.
What the hell are you
Millhouse?
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Millhouse is in it?
No. I don't think what's that
Fucking Paul from The Wonder Years. Paul Fife.
Jesse Eisenberg.
I'm
not finding this movie. Am I spelling it wrong? Spell it.
Vivarium. So VIVA.
Yeah.
Oh, I was doing B.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Hulu or Prime. There it is. It's on Prime.
Yeah, we can't see what you're looking at, idiot.
I know that. I'm looking it up and just saying it.
What's this
I don't know
about?
all the sharing my screen things.
So the house is looking cool.
What are you looking for?
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think y'all would like it. It kind of goes into this thing, simulation-ish stuff. Not to give too much away.
Read the synopsis, Scott. You got it up there.
Yeah, I got you. So, hoping to find the perfect place to live, a couple travel to a suburban neighborhood in which all the houses look identical. But when they try to leave the labyrinth-like development, each road mysteriously takes them back to where they started.
Oh.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Man, I can't believe I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
And it's got Jesse from the zombie movie. That same Jesse.
Yeah, that's it.
Jesse
Yeah.
Eisenberg, Imogen Poots, and a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Millhouse.
Millhouse is Mr. Smithers is in it.
Yeah. And that kind of reminds me of, did you ever watch the OA on Netflix?
I think I started it and I didn't stay with it.
Dude, it's really about like the multiverse theory, basically. The whole show is, it's the only show where I've been mind fucked at the end of it that I can recall in recent memory. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's only 2 seasons. The end of the second season really fucking fucks you up, because I'm just going to spoil it anyway, because it's the whole thing is based on moving from one multiverse to another, like moving your consciousness into the same you and inside of another version, multiverse, your timeline, another timeline, the easy term. But the end of it is basically like breaking the fourth wall, you know what I mean? Where they're in the process, like they got to go through a process to switch timelines.
Yeah.
Or a ritual type thing they do to move from one body to another. And it ends with them doing that. And then basically a TV crew pans out and they're on a fucking TV show set filming the OA, like breaking that fourth wall. Weird. It really fucked me up. It's really good if you just understand it's about the multiverse thing.
Yeah. I need something new to watch, so I'll have to check it out. I'm back in.
Ryan, have you heard of it? OA?
I have not.
It's worth a watch. It starts out really, and I understand why you would peter out of it, because it starts out basically about a blonde girl that shows up randomly, and it's almost like a Lifetime movie, the first 2 episodes almost, you know what I mean? So it will lose you if you don't give it a little patience. I'll always open for new content, man. I consume way too much fucking nonsense content.
I can't watch Hallmark movies, and so well, and for obvious reasons. But the main thing is, and I only noticed this because my mother-in-laws they would keep Hallmark on, and so I was just watching it just because I'm lazy, and just sitting there, and they do something with the camera where the camera is constantly bobbing. And I guess they do it to create like some kind of motion with the scene, so it's not just two people standing there. And I guess anyway, once you see it though, you can't unsee that. And so the whole time you're watching any of their movies, you're watching the camera bob, and dude, it will drive you insane.
I can't handle shit like that, dude.
I mean, and I don't like the movies Henry because they're just cheesy. I mean, they're feel good.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Adria watches Hallmark movies, right? Or Lifetime movies?
No, Real Housewives.
Yeah, she'll get on a kick.
Oh, you talking about what's your wife's name back?
Oh yeah, I'm getting the two wife's name, Adria.
Oh, okay. Mine's Adrienne. All right.
Yeah,
so I jumped in on that.
I heard the aid, and I don't know which one he said actually.
I have no idea either. That's wild. I lost my train of thought there. Oh, it's like the first time you watch what was the Big Bang Theory? Like, if you ever see that without the laugh track, you can't.
Oh wow, yeah.
Ooh, that sounds terrible.
Oh, dude, it's gross. It makes you uncomfortable. It's so not funny.
They have a setting without the laugh track, like you turn it off.
No, you just YouTube it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I got you.
Yeah, people have removed it, and it's just awful.
I never watched that show, mostly because it didn't look all that funny to me to begin with.
It's not.
No, actually, I hate it.
I can watch. There's not. I can't name the last normal sitcom I've watched that was good.
Yeah. I just feel like all their jokes are so pressured and pushed. It's just not funny.
Canned.
It's unnatural. No offense to any of y'all like it, but
no,
I get asked that a lot. Oh, you must love Big Bang Theory, and I'm like, it's actually one of my least favorites.
Yeah,
I don't know of any good like sitcoms anymore, really.
Curb Your Enthusiasm was the last good one for me. I thought the last season of Curb was really good, but that was it.
The boys are watching Malcolm in the Middle right now.
That's always a great show.
Oh, that's old school.
Yeah. Very into it.
My favorite now, I don't not really classified as a sitcom, but The Righteous Gemstones on HBO. Written by Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always amazing.
His Eastbound and Down's awesome.
Yeah, and it has stars John Goodman and Danny McBride.
Oh, that's cool.
It is so hilarious.
The dude from Workaholics, I forget his name. Not Anders, not long hair. The other one. Not Big Bird, not long hair. Even though Workaholics, remember that show?
I haven't seen it.
Adam Devine. That's his name. Fuck you guys.
I can go back and watch Silicon Valley over and over again.
That holds up.
Yeah. That's funny no matter how many times you see it.
Have you seen that, Ryan?
I've seen bits and pieces of Silicon Valley. I have not watched the whole thing.
Showtime, right?
Do what?
Do what? That was HBO.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's on HBO Max?
It has to be. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure.
Watch that.
That's a good one to dive into. Yeah.
The dick jerking algorithm.
Oh my gosh, dude! I cried. I was in tears that whole damn episode.
Fucking.
Oh my gosh!
It's fucking really.
Yeah.
It fucking do the math. Fucking good.
The fucking whiteboard behind them, and oh my gosh.
And that's a lot. T.J. Miller really fell off the funny after that show, man.
Didn't he have like a head injury or something?
You may be right.
I feel like something happened, and it wasn't just he decided to take a turn. I think something happened, and then it affected him.
Now, since you're a Joe Rogan fan, I'm sure you've heard him talk about Roseanne. That's why she.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a traumatic brain injury type shit.
Yep.
And I see, in my field of work, I read a lot of medical records and see TBI, traumatic brain injuries sometimes in it. So I've read a lot about it. And just a mild concussion can alter your personality, can just make you like an angrier person. Anytime you have a connection, a synopsis in your brain that's disrupted and that connection is broken, it alters everything else, because something has to make up for it and do what it should have been doing, you know what I mean? So that it really has long-term permanent effects, any kind of concussion.
Wow.
And also that's why I'm terrified of my kids doing sports and shit sometimes. Like, the more you learn about how vital the brain is and how easy it is to damage, like, God dang it, why did I spend so many years like hitting a fucking soccer ball with my head as hard as I could?
Dude, yeah, me and Balmer and Tim Robinson, I mean, we used to beat the shit out of each other. And because, we were doing karate, but we had these thin pads on, but we were still kicking each other in the face. And, of course, no one knew that, hey, really shouldn't be doing this. We thought we were just being tough.
Then you see you're a UFC fan, you see fighters like Chuck Liddell, and that dude is as punch drunk as it gets. Like, he's a raging, angry alcoholic now. Because, you know what I mean? That's just because he has no brain cells left. They just been punched to death. It's just terrifying, man. They don't come back. They're not regrowing. Although there is a lot of good science behind that. Paul Stamets, mycologist, mushroom, mycology.
Yeah.
A lot of those, I think it's lion's mane is named the mushroom. It's really a good neurogenesis type, rebuilds neural connections and shit. It's got a lot of promise. But I love that field of science. I think there's a lot of hope there. Same thing with like stem cell injections, man. I'm a anti-knife surgery person anymore. Like, if you have a tear, meniscus tear, shoulder tear, you don't want to get that shit cut open and repaired. You want that shit to be injected with your own stem cells and repair itself. And there are doctors in Louisville that give the therapy now.
In Louisville?
Yeah.
I thought that was still something that was
it's
outside of the U.S.
I can send you a link to them. I've sent a few clients there. I think name of the doctor off the top of my head, but it's just the little draw your blood, run the blood plate shit, spin it, get all the good shit out of it and inject it back in. They're showing really good, it's an orthopedic surgeon who's doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like a surgery alternative and it's showing some pretty good results. Because I've had back surgery. The last thing I would recommend is having somebody cut you open if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
And stem cells are just fucking magical. If they, can inject them and do whatever you need them to do. Which also leads me down that like adrenochrome, drinking kids' blood shit. Like, because there's actual science behind it. There's some science behind like getting blood transfusions from a younger individual will increase your vitality, and there's a lot of actual hard science behind it. Like, I may want to just hang my kids up and drain them
a little bit. just 10 minutes. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Get some of this old fucker blood.
You love your dad, don't you?
Let's trade up a couple pints here.
Hey, something I was gonna say, not to take us completely off, but have you guys ever done a deprivation tank?
Yeah, I would love to.
No, I haven't. I've always wanted to. For sure.
This is jumping back to the almost simulation in a way, but just more consciousness. I recommend it at least once just to try it. Now, usually your first time, it's a little weird because you're not nervous, but you don't know what to expect. You're trying to force the feeling of it. But it's
expecting too much.
It's this weird sensation where you don't know if you're awake or asleep. and you're seeing just weird things and you feel really weird. I don't know. I recommend doing it at least a couple times.
Where'd you do it?
Over in Louisville, they've got a couple different locations.
There's one in New Albany, I think, too, or was.
Yeah, no, there is. It's not as good. I don't think it's as good. I mean, it's a fine place, but their tanks are not real tanks. They've like converted these showers to, I don't know. It's you're not enclosed. Like a real tank is soundproof.
Yeah.
And so it is deprivation. Like it cuts you off your senses. So you're essentially in space. And that's what it needs to be. Because I did the New Albany one time, and like I could hear people talking and walking, and it was like worthless, like totally just waste of time.
It can't get to where you need it to be to actually enjoy it. Yeah.
But the real one, yeah, you will get this weird, like the one thing that I've gotten every time at some point when you're floating there, you will feel like you're in a current, and you'll feel like you're moving like fast. And every time it'll hit you like right in the middle, and I'll start to feel it, and I'll just have to reach out, and I'm floating, so my hands are out to my side, and I'll reach out and I'll touch like the side, and then immediately I'm back. But it's the damnedest thing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, just I had thought about that earlier.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I would love to experience that.
How long do you recommend for a session?
An hour.
It's an hour.
And it goes so quick though, because you likely may fall asleep in and out, and so you'll lose some time. But it's weird because you can't tell if you're asleep or not. Like, especially if you like, they have some where you can do music and you can do some ambient lighting. I recommend just silence and dark, and just stare at the top, and then you'll start to see. For me anyway, I start to see red, and then eventually I go off in this weird journey. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I love being in a pool, but that's my go-to, like just floating like a turd and nowhere near a side. You know what I'm saying? Just as relaxed as possible without any movement. That shit is so fucking peaceful, man.
How disorienting is it to come back out of it? I mean, does your brain process it pretty quickly?
Yeah, it's not bad. You're kind of, you're tired initially when you get out, and then usually you shower off because you're covered in like salt, and then you feel like $1,000,000. But it's not like, there's just like a bit of a groggy, I guess. But it's not bad, and the rest of your day is like perfect.
Hell yeah,
really.
Bag, have you tried the cryotherapy? Did I see you missing something?
Oh, it's good. Somebody was asking how I'm handling going out in the snow with my sandals on.
That's another one I've been wanting to try.
Yeah, so I said Ader offered that in her salon.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I definitely want to try that chamber. Got it. I'm glad you told me the info about the New Albany one versus the true ones. I don't want to waste my money, essentially,
Mm-mm.
How much is it? I haven't even looked into it.
You can get deals. I don't know. Let's call it on average $40.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
I mean, if you're only doing it, a couple times, like I would love to go once a month.
Yeah, that's neat.
I don't think about it.
What do they run like? They're like 10 grand, right? In that range
for the tank. Yeah, they're pretty expensive, and then you would have to keep the solution going, then you have to drain it, and
there's a shit ton of fucking Epsom salt or whatever in there too.
Oh yeah. And don't pee in it. They bill you for that.
No shit.
Oh yeah, you have to sign a thing. I've never done it, of course, but if you use the bathroom in it or something, then I can't remember how much, but it's a significant amount.
Because they have to drain it and all that shit.
Clean it, and which I don't blame them. I wouldn't want somebody coming in and peeing in it either.
No, that's a process, I'm sure, though.
Yeah.
That big of a tank of water, and there's a lot to fucking mess with.
So are they not draining it anyways?
No, like the the chemicals in it, like the magnesium and everything, it keeps it
Kill it all
somewhat
off.
sterile. Yeah.
Okay.
And you do have to. I'm looking up
Shower.
this place. Yeah, you have to shower beforehand. I'm trying to see this place I really like in Louisville. Hold on.
Yeah, I'd like to know for sure.
I don't know. It's always on the tip of my tongue. Aqua Wellness.
Aqua Wellness.
That's the place.
All right. So,
And I assume they probably need some business now.
Yeah, I don't know how COVID's treating them. I mean, you're by yourself in this tank. I mean,
Yeah. And if you ever want to try the Joe Rogan experience in one, I can make you a brownie.
I am curious how that would go. I tell you what, on my list of things is I really want, after listening to countless conversations, I really want to do a DMT trip.
Dimethyltryptamine.
I really want to I want to rock it off and just see what happens.
Well, you know, I would share that experience with you sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I've never had that experience myself, but I've definitely had some psychedelic experiences with, you know, your mainstream psychedelics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of psilocybin. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking amazing. I think if anything, it's the best thing I've ever experienced for depression or any kind of like mental health issue. I think it's the best. It's like, I describe it as cleaning the filter off your third eye. It just cleans the gunk off of it.
Yeah.
Lets you take a step back. It's almost like your consciousness takes a 2-step backwards inside of yourself so you can see the bigger picture, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's very self-rewarding and individualized. You know what I mean? Plus, it make you laugh like a motherfucker too. It's a good time. But you know, I've done it by myself and had some really relaxing experiences, and that would be awesome to be in a float tank, like, you know.
Yeah, I wonder. I wasn't sure if it'd be too much or how, you know, the impact of the deprivation. I mean, I guess if you're in a good place, then it's just going to amplify that versus if you go into it with some kind of
anxiety or
then that could be pretty bad.
Right. But it will make anything that is in any way remotely weird feel super weird. Like it's the mushrooms are the reason I hate Halo 4. I'm dead serious. And it's because of the fucking sounds. Halo 4, they added all these stupid spacey like effects.
Yeah.
Gun noises and weird and dude,
just didn't do it for you, huh?
All I could focus on. I played it while on them, and it's the only thing. It was literally like nails on the chalkboard, like making me mad. This is fucking stupid, and it, like, just gross to me, like made me feel gross in my belly. Like, that's how much of it, because psilocybin will make you focus on the minute details of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, something will catch your attention and that you wouldn't normally focus on, and it's just all you can focus on for a couple minutes. Yeah. Wave. I mean, you'll ride a peak, and that focus will be on something until your peak you exhale and you're like able to move on mentally. But dude, shit like that will just stick out like a sore thumb and gross you out because it's not norm. It's like, this is stupid. I hate, get this away from my ears. I don't want to ever play this game again. And I haven't played it since.
Yeah.
And I play Halo 3 a couple times a week. I love it. Fuck Halo 4.
Nolan's trying to get me to, if I can find another Series X and we can get on him, he wants to play Halo again together, like co-op stuff. Yeah.
That was a problem for me when me and Liam beat Halo 3, the campaign together.
I got this guy I follow on Twitter that always drops the stocks. That's how I got my couple PlayStations. I probably could have had about a dozen by now if I wanted to click buy every time. I can send that to you all.
I haven't pulled the trigger on either one of them yet.
Yeah, I ended up getting one PS5, and then I heard GameStop was canceling some orders. So I got another one from Target, went and picked it up while the GameStop bundle was shipping. And then Riker kind of convinced me to open that one up. And then the bundle comes, and that's after Christmas, and all the kind of craziness of everybody paying absurd prices had fallen down.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to raffle it off like everybody else was doing, and it just didn't fill up good enough. So now I've got 2 PS5s.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have whatever the newest version of the one is, the white, what it's the S or whatever
Yeah.
But we have 3 here. We have 3 Xbox Ones in this house and a PS4. So it's just like,
yeah,
I'm trying to hold off as long as possible, but Halo Infinite will make me take that leap because I'm pretty excited about it. I'm trying to avoid like watching anything about it because I don't want to discourage myself from playing it. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty stoked about it because Halo 3 is it's the greatest game ever to me, first person shooter wise. I mean, it's no time splitters, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not
time splitters. That was fantastic. Nolan and I, we went back to Halo 1 and started Legendary.
Hell yeah.
And dude, I tell you what, it's been a while, and man, so me and Tom Usowski and myself, we used to play through Legendary like in a night. Like we would just own that. And now it took us like 2 hours to get through a couple levels. Like it was terrible. But it was fun, father-son bonding.
Halo is really notorious for its pace of play. If you play anything else first-person shooter-wise and go back to Halo, your immediate reaction is, why is it so fucking slow?
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of melt into it a little bit, and you're like, this is perfect. This is the perfect speed. This is why it's
that's cool.
Because it's way more skill-based, I think, than Call of Duty. Yep. Like, I'll fucking wreck you as an Halo.
Dude, did you guys see that they speaking of first-person shooters, they leaked the GoldenEye remastered files?
No.
Yeah.
So, long story short, GoldenEye was supposed to release on Xbox 360 back in the day, and there was too many copyrights in play, and they couldn't get it, so they shelved it. Fast forward to this past week, I don't know how it happened, but someone dumped the files, like the ROM files, online. And so you can play it, and it's got the new skin on it. It looks awesome for what it is. But you can do multiplayer through like local network.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, man, that'd be awesome to get just a bunch of people together and do some GoldenEye multiplayer matches.
Along the Cody lines, that's why I really got into emulators for a while, because you could play even NES games like online with other people. You know what I mean? Co-op and shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love Super Nintendo. To me, was the best system ever as far as like quality of game and being able to play multiplayer on the same console. You know what I mean? There's so many good games that came out with that system.
What was that game we used to play back in high school? We had the Discord.
Oh yeah. NES Classic.
Nolan's no, this is a Pi.
It's Raspberry Pi, yeah.
We made to look like an NES, but it's got everything on it.
That's what cool. Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do like a bar top arcade with one, but those 7-Up arcades, they're like 7-Up's like a manufacturer. They have a really good Turtles arcade machine, the 4-player. It's got all the skins, but I don't know if you're able to mod them or if there are any. I don't know what the capabilities are there, but if I had one, that's the only reason I would want one, is to be able to add every fucking game ever on it.
There's a company they're usually at the. I don't know if you guys ever go to the retro art. Yeah. But there's a company that's always been there. I can't remember their name, but they sell those retro. Basically, it's like a cabinet, but it's full of
main machine or whatever they call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're expensive, but they're awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing. They are expensive. Those the hardware, the joystick, the button circuits. A lot of them have even the trackball on them.
Yep.
That stuff's a little pricey, which shouldn't be, but that's where the price comes in. I'm pretty sure those individual hardwares.
We put one in at the arcade, but it was more of just, it was 2 joysticks, and I built a little cabinet for it, and then a HDMI'd it to a TV, just so if people are waiting, they can hop on, and there's like couple thousand games on it.
Yeah.
But those are pretty, and you could do that at your house.
Right.
Play Street Fighter or whatever.
Do you remember me getting really into that with the Xbox 360? Do you remember me doing that? Okay. I had a modded 360. You know, I had the chip in it.
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I remember that.
But anyway, it was basically like I spent weeks, dude, just doing nothing but downloading full Xbox 360 games to where it was in the entire catalog basically on my, had 2 external hard drives connected to it, just DLCs, everything you could fucking possibly have.
And you had a bunch of like random arcade games on there too, right?
Yeah, the Xbox Live Arcade had all those motherfuckers.
Did you have a bunch of Japanese like weird games?
Yep.
Did you ever play Gal Panic?
No.
So we did the same thing. We had a group, and we all got in, and we all got our Xboxes modded, and we started rolling through this catalog of like just these weird Japanese games. And I was hoping, so Gal Panic it was a puzzler, and at face value, it was just like you had to do these little puzzles, and we were like, okay. It's so one night we're all sitting around doing these puzzles, and we get one done, and it shows this picture. This like is a terrible picture, but it was a actual picture of some Japanese girl in her bikini. And we're like, well, that's interesting. Round 2, we play it, and dude, it was like full blown. If you got to the highest level, then you had a nudie pickup.
Okay.
And then you would get to there we go. Yeah. And so then it became like we start playing all of these things just to unlock all the girls, and
right.
It was hilarious.
Kaneko.
And then there was one that had male figures, which I'm not judging, but it was just not what we were looking for. So
you just played that one.
I mean, each their own,
Yeah, I think I got more into just acquiring more games than I did actually playing.
Yeah.
I was just way more invested in the like deep dives into finding the games themselves and all the DLCs and shit. Because once I figured it out, dude, it was a fucking frenzy, man. Like,
yeah, like why not?
Yeah, it's like, all the DLCs, let's inject those motherfuckers, because you had to like actually inject the DLCs into the game files. You know what I mean? You had to put them in there. It was some work, but dude, when you can hold your controller down and just keep scrolling like it's fucking Netflix and it just keeps going, the shit was cool.
But then you don't play anything.
No,
yeah. You just keep looking at it.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's overwhelming. I got the boys something a while back and was like, oh, this is awesome. 300 Nintendo games on one little handheld. This is great. But then they're like, I don't know which one to pick, Dad. I'm like, I get it. They got through like the letter B's and they were just done.
Yeah. You end up playing the stuff and like, yeah.
I've always wanted to build a Pi and put Trouble Graphics games back on it. I always loved that system.
And now the emulators have really improved because you can run PS1, PS2 games.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Old X games would be fun too.
And speaking of, dude, Twisted Metal's fucking garbage when you play it. I don't recommend that.
It is.
Because I love that game. But played it maybe 6 months ago and it's just dog shit, dude. It's worse fucking. I'd much rather play like Cruising USA or some like super retro racing game than it was just terrible, man.
Yeah.
I felt ashamed of myself.
It's a lot of those when you go back and look at them. It's like, wow, really?
Yeah, like how did this? Yeah.
And speaking of, I still haven't beat Randy's Tony Hawk score yet.
I gave up. I'm way behind you all by millions.
So you saw they remastered Tony Hawk, Scott?
Yeah. Yep. I never got into it though.
Oh, boy. Like the first couple days it was released, I'm pretty sure my hands were like just stuck in some kind of weird claw formation because me and Randy Strunk were basically having a high score challenge, to see who could top who.
Yeah.
And I was we were getting 6 million, 10, I think his highest was like 13 something million, you know what I mean, on the warehouse, like your classic board. And man, it's just start, retry, and you're just hardcore gripped, and it's fucking awesome. Brought back so many memories of being in his basement and playing the shit out of the game, same soundtrack. And it's actually good, man.
Yeah.
Withstood the test of time, huh?
Hell yeah. Time Splitters didn't either, though. I'm surprised they haven't done a remake of that yet. I thought I remember reading something about a remake.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ever happened.
I thought they came out with something. Yeah.
This little monkey fucker.
Nolan, you want to say hi?
Old mummy guy.
Hey, wave to Mr. Harris. Hold on. Nolan's here. Oh, he's too shy. He's taking off.
Demerit. Give a demerit.
He's still failing.
He's gonna fail you if you don't wave. Be sociable.
Peer pressure.
You'll lose your Xbox too if you fail.
Teacher pressure.
Come on. He's coming. There he is.
Who's that?
Look, I can't see your head, dude. Yeah. You got to duck down.
Yeah.
Duck down, duck.
The double thumbs up are a sign of just super cringiness right there.
Oh, that was.
That's awesome.
Okay. He does okay, though. Yeah.
Does your kid think you're the cringiest dude ever?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I think I get some kind of fake respect out of it, I think.
I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a pretty hip dad.
I try to be, man. You know what I mean? I claim I am, but they still think I'm super embarrassing, which I also enjoy being. So,
I mean, yeah, I did
you got older, like teenage girls now,
Yeah. Yeah, Brooklyn and Chloe sometimes get pretty ashamed of me, I think. Like, they had one of their friends go over this past weekend, and as soon as she came in the house, her name's Harmony. They call her Ham. So as soon as I heard her come in the basement, I just yell upstairs, "What's up, Ham? What's going on, playa?" Dude, you could almost hear the cringe from like a different floor. You could just feel their body like, oh, that fucking stupid dad. Made me laugh so hard.
Can't wait for that.
Oh, it's good, man.
I think I'm a lot cooler than my kids think I am.
Sure.
I'm into too much weird shit. Just
I felt like that old Tom. I was like, one day you will come to the realization of how cool I fucking am. And
I'm the dad with stacks of vinyl. Right now they don't care about it, but one day they'll be like, "Oh my."
Yeah, one day they'll show actual photos of you with your fucking thick mustache and basically the 80s version of your own dad.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't have the bumblebee. Fast forward to those thoughts, like how will I appear when they look back?
Now I can say I'm the dad who we've gotten in VR, and Nolan and I were ducks in VR chat, and we were operating our own restaurant for patrons and serving people pancakes as they sit in our booths. As weird as that sounds, that was actually literally our night, and it was fantastic. And so
that's cool.
There's little things like that where I'm like, maybe I'm a little cooler than what my parents were. My parents definitely would not have done that. But it's little things like that where you try to win them over a little bit. You know?
Mm-hmm. I like it with music. I love pointing out good music to them and have them initially react as if they don't like it, and then a month later hearing them listen to it without me. And it's like, I got you. I fucking got you.
It worked. Yeah.
I told you I knew what was up. And you're like, oh, it's a TikTok song now. What do you know? We're doing stupid TikTok dance. Is your kid a TikToker? Does he TikTok at all?
No, mine, no, not so much. Now he still does that, and I blame Beat Saber for him walking around doing this.
Yeah.
He watches TikTok, but he doesn't like get into dances and stuff.
I will say, having girls, I have TikTok on my phone, but it is very awkward to see any boy their age because, you know, I follow them, so I'll see like their friends' videos and shit.
Yeah.
And every time I see a boy that is in their grade or something on TikTok, it's always like, it's real sus. You know, it's like, come on, bro, what is happening here with this kid? Like, you know, like, come on. He's over here, you know, and they're doing the same, like, you know. It's fucking strange. It makes me uncomfortable because it's unnatural to see, I guess. I don't know. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not trying to say it's. I'm not saying it's queer. It's not queer, but it's just abnormal behavior.
Yeah, it's just not what you're used to. Yeah. No, I've kept TikTok off my phone. Like I can't. I don't have the time for another. Like I was in Facebook, and I'm still there. Like we use it for our business. I post some bullshit every now and again, but I just don't have time for another social media.
Same.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll the only time I actually look at TikTok is on the pooper.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's a quick one. It's a nice, you know, it's if you're not in the reading mood, it's a good because I purposely will. You ever watch Your Mom's House with Tom Segura, Christina Pazinski, their podcast?
A few times, but not religiously.
Well, she's super into TikTok as well, but she kind of got me into like following. If you follow the weirdest people you come across, it will just keep showing you other super weird people. So now it's basically like I've catered the algorithm to be as weird as possible. And there is some depravity on TikTok, like just
Really?
middle-aged men, middle-aged women, like 50s and 60s that are just sassy and they're dead serious in whatever they're doing, but it's just fucking cringe to a entertaining level, I think.
No kidding.
It's in
Well,
yeah, it really sucks me in sometimes. Like
sparked my interest a little bit.
I'm telling you, man, just follow the weirdest things possible and it'll lead you down a fun path. That's for sure. You'll get grannies doing fucking like I'm sure you've seen them, but most of the time it's teenage girls doing the don't you fucking like where they're like talking to some like they're commenters, like they're responding to people who are, you know, like all sassy like, but these are like middle-aged women who are just sows or you know what I mean? Like just it is fucking entertaining. It's the cool guy club. That's what it's called. There's this old trucker
like sassy grandma Doris tells it like it is.
Yeah, there's this old fucking trucker guy in every video it starts out with him saying, "Hello, my over 18 queens." He specifically says, "My queen's over 18." You know what I mean? Like he is trying to point out he's not targeting underage girls, and he's like a 60-year-old trucker who just will say weird stuff like, "Hope you're having a good morning. Have a wonderful day. I hope everything goes great. My queen's above 18." It's just
good Lord.
It's awesome.
That is cringe for sure.
Dude, it's fucking great. Because he's so it's like he's trying to like use it as a dating app almost.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. All right, fellas, you want to end this? It is the middle of the week here.
Yeah, I gotta work on the kiddos.
Yeah, I gotta be up early. So, well, hey, this was fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. I thought y'all were seriously joking. I didn't get the memo. You said I went back in the messages. I read it too quickly. I remember something like, "Well, instead of VR for right now, what about we do this, this, and this?" I'm like, he's just probably shitting around because you said Henryville something.
You're shit. Did you think that was outside? Did you drop that wood off?
Do what?
Did you drop that wood off in my house outside?
No.
In a random box.
Um,
Intricacies. Yeah, something like that.
So this podcast has been sponsored by Oasis Salon for all your hair.
Yeah.
How's that going, by the way? It looks great, man.
It's awesome.
It does look
It's
great.
actually going really well. Yeah.
You guys need to do some face and nail stuff, huh?
Yeah, we're just trying to keep it simple so there's less people being brought in. So she doesn't do that anyways.
Put a
And
float.
if she can manage the people into the home, it helps out.
Yeah, do a float tank.
Yeah, dude.
Right, come
Oh,
on.
that'd be awesome. We have a bedroom. I'll flip the camera.
Hey, sell off that Doge and get you a float tank.
This is like walking from in there. You know, a little idea, I guess.
I like your fake door on the ground. I like that.
Yeah, I haven't put the barn doors up yet.
What's in the magazine rack? You got some High Times and.
All right. Riddle me this. Adrian gets a salon. Somebody goes, oh, that's great. I can bring over some advertisements for my business. We're like, sure. We'll have a little tabletop thing for your business. Nope.
That's all.
That's like 4 feet tall.
They brought that?
Yeah. No joke. I saw somebody bringing in this big old.
What's in it? Let me see those advertisements. Who is it?
Let's peek through the brochure.
Vacation advisor.
Vacation advisor. Wow.
I mean, it's legitimate. Like this one's actually pretty cool. Galapagos.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, she brought in the bracing for it, and I saw her walking in. I'm like, where is she? Is Adrian literally letting people put like billboards in our yard now? No, I just went in the basement.
What's that thing weigh? Like 70 pounds?
I mean,
oh shit, dude.
Look at that thing. Yeah. I walked down like, what the hell is this?
Well, I'm gonna send you a tribe called Chum, something to put up in there.
Yeah, a little flyer. That'd be good.
Cool idea.
Just some artwork on the wall. It'd be dope.
Do like a Chum fathead.
Yeah.
Dude, put your float tank in there for real.
I mean, that bedroom back there, I guess you could have. I don't know. She's kind of having it as a workout office room.
Well, I mean, you do wear the pants, right?
What the fuck is going on?
You do wear the
I heard you all say it was like 10 grand, so I'm not sure about that just yet.
It's a write-off, bro.
And people piss in it.
It's a write-off. Duh.
Yeah. All right.
Duh.
Float tank.
I
would have to use for personal use then.
Use your Robin Hood earnings to fucking.
There you go. Sell off that sundial. Get that float tank.
Man, I should have sold that sundial when it hit almost $3 or $4, $3.96 this morning.
Yeah.
I blew it.
Shoulda, woulda,
and then my right's doing good, and then what else? There's something else that kind of hit off today.
Casper Maritime did okay.
Why are you looking at that one?
Not right now. Keep away from it right now. Yeah.
So
right, well, it's been a pleasure. Let's do it again.
ACMC or something like that. I forgot what else I got today.
Yeah, Chum. Hey, appreciate it, man.
It was good to meet y'all.
Hey, Ryan, good to meet you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to follow
guys. See you all.
PC stuff. I want to shoot you some specs and get your opinions.
Dude, I'm happy to help. And then also, whenever you want to head out and VR, do it.
We actually still have a gift card we haven't used yet.
It's probably invalid now.
Good. I'll just double it up.
All right, fellas.
All right, guys.
All right. See you
guys.
guys.
Have a good night.
See you later.
You too.